Hello, Internet! It's me again. Your favourite substitute intro. We're all still doing usual normal things. We have our dice tower, which I don't know if it's on camera now, no, because I'm just on camera. It will be on camera later. And our bag of dice. Going over for our special likes and our questions to be answered. Our gracious DM is going to be catching up on the podcast. We should be back up to episode 20 by Tuesday. He promises. We'll see how it turns out.
We're up to episode 30 today, so I'm not that far
10 behind. That's not too bad. Yeah, today's going to be a fun, big... Let's see how much chaos we can cause and if we can defend our town. Let's roll that intro.
Hello! I'm here. I'm square.
That's a problem.
Yep. But battles are squares, so it's okay. So, last time, going right back into intros of things and stuff, the party had successfully gained a bunch of magical items and have rented out a section of the factory district to work on a few more things and follow up on their own small tasks. One of the party decided to construct... how would I describe your character getting scurvy? Contracting.
Yeah. Refusing to understand scurvy.
Refusing to understand the safety requests of the crew and insisting that the food he was to eat was supposed to be like he was on a ship. Obviously missing the opportunity to do it himself, and then had to spend 10 gold for a banquet to remove said scurvy.
There's oranges in the barrel.
I was going to say, ship's gone to the lemon barrels.
They're right there. We bring them on the ship for a reason.
No, you guys didn't. No, we're not meant to have that while we're on our
I'm just
ship.
yelling at the crew. We're not even off the ground. I'm seasick all the time.
The party had caught up with the captain and Roy, and they had come across different crew. They had not left port since you guys were last here that you were aware of in terms of a massive mission. They had left port for a few sort of random tiki tour things, but they hadn't actually gone anywhere major since they last picked you guys up. Obviously, that big of a trip requires a decent amount of funding behind it. And you also discovered that the ship technically didn't belong to the captain, and it was actually part of a overarching sort of ownership system, and he was just in charge of it for that period of time.
He just stole it.
Sure.
Commandeered.
You were then one morning you were all called into the castle without too much of an issue after having a few days of issues of both Fitz and Drew being stereotyped out by townspeople.
It's like coronavirus all over.
You went into the... You had been given a decent brief from Quinton, who had notified basically most of the town's guards that were in this room who were needed to know, so the captains and that sort, and a bunch of adventurers who were around and had signed up to help, basically. You'd also discovered that as the further you went into the room, you discovered naive adventurers up to veteran adventurers, and were probably in the higher end of this category, which, take that information as you will. You had been given a brief... You had been given 4 different captains in charge of different areas, One was Vandal. One was the Scouts crew, which had command had fallen into Dark. One was a medic-based crew from a paladin who was visiting from out of town, and one was another military-based crew which fell under a fighter who you guys didn't really talk to that much. He just existed.
He's over there.
So he was.
You were given the brief of where they sighted enemies coming in from both north, and some had been seen in this sort of side of the lake area. So you've got a vague idea that they could be kind of coming from different angles. And the last thing...
Big bang.
Okay, sure. And you guys had decided you were going to take airship command, and on your way out you were stopped by 3 different adventurers, a wizard, a fighter, and a goblin, who wanted to join the crew as well, which you guys had let them join.
That's not including the guys that I'd spoken to before that were from the trial part, right?
No, that is the guys you had spoken to before from the trial part.
Can't remember one being a goblin.
So I'm good at close combat, right?
One was basically considered a wizard. One was a goblin, and one was a fighter with a bow.
Big
One of them will help.
He was a goblin with a stick and just stood there.
Me.
I like that guy's enthusiasm.
They're following me when I jump off. That's the point. I've got mob mentality.
That's
And
what I
can
say
also
when I
make 5
see him.
other people be able to drop without the issue either. But you guys will fall down slowly, and I will just literally jump off and hit the ground and not take any damage.
I hope you go down like Iron Man style, but you go through the ground. Like fist on the ground.
Depends on where I land.
How are you going to get off slowly?
Fuck, I hope
I
you
can
land
feather
off
fall 5 people, but she's also got a wand which will be able to feather fall 10 more people as well.
Excuse me?
The wand has 2 charges, it's 5 per charge. Feather fall is 5 people.
Oh, so I don't even need my parachute.
Oh, I got you, Bo.
That's what my feather fall is. You're an artificer, that's literally what your feather fall is. Here's a napkin, rip it up and spread it between you and hold it. Whee!
I like to think you don't trust spells. That's why you made the parachute. Like I'm ready to go and you're like stuffing the parachute in your pocket just in case.
I mean,
I'm like, dude, I've already cast it.
technically his parachute would last longer because your feather fall only lasts for a minute. He could parachute and just take as long as he wants going down.
You get more shots than
My goal is to create an object that can do the spells, every spell, you know.
Which I quite like. Which is why I'm encouraging him to do
That
it.
makes every spell. I can give you a
So
piece
instead
of
of
dynamite. That'll do a
Nuke.
fireball. I was going to say, dynamite will do a fireball. Meteor will be a nuke.
So precious with that too.
So you guys had made your way out of the castle and were making your way to the airship, and you had informed Johnny these are a one-way sending stone for the message of get the guys to prepare the ship.
Books.
Me not speak English.
Start speaking goblin at you.
Ah, the devil's tongue.
No, that's French.
No, that's a dead language.
No, that's teeth like that's canonical.
Ah!
It's technically French. So if anyone starts speaking French, like from the table, then you know they're speaking Infernal.
You just put a baguette in them. Shush!
Two demons just pop up.
Oh no!
Anyway.
Goblin. We'll figure that one out.
Not yet. We'll figure it out, I'm sure.
Creole.
Do you even know what Creole is?
French American.
Thank you.
I say French.
It's just pigeony French.
Twangy French.
Pigeony French.
Alright, so have you told Johnny?
Quebec is taking
Maybe.
Have you
What am I telling him?
have you told him that you're coming and get the airship ready?
Yeah, but I told him in Goblin because
Okay.
he said no English.
He said I can't speak English. I don't
You
speak
can't.
English.
It's a one-way thing. You could say to him. He
Ah.
can't. Anything he says back to you doesn't get to you. It's a
Okay.
one-way message.
I say the message in Common, obviously. Then I follow it with Goblin. Then I follow it with Undercommon. And then I follow it with Deep Speech. And then I repeat it once more in Common.
So what would have happened? I would have gone half of it written down, threw it at my mate, snapped it in, picked it up again, got the rest of the note.
So you've written down half of it. You've thrown it. When you've thrown it, this Goliath, who you know is Roy, has walked over and picked it up as it starts talking and looked at you, looked at the thing. It goes into deep speech, and you notice him sort of acknowledge and understand what's being said.
Bad Roy.
Looks at you. It goes back into common again. He sits there and waits for it to finish, so you hear the full message of get the ship ready.
Yeah.
And then looks at you and goes,
Get the ship ready then, idiot Roy.
he turns and starts walking around, and you hear him barking a bunch of orders at a bunch of different people.
Give me the rock. I put it in my chest pocket.
You start hearing some weird whispers coming from it.
Don't mock
Protects
Roy.
my nipple.
Don't mock Roy. He's my friend.
As
He's my
you've
second
said,
command.
get the ship ready. You notice he seems to spring from just kind of mindlessly sitting around, looking like sort of someone who's just woken up,
He was on
to
that
someone who
ship.
knows exactly what's going on and is barking the correct
Right.
orders at different people and saying different things
Tried to make
and preparing the area for everything. He looks
Am I
like he's a man who understands what he's doing.
Twice.
Am I considered
Yeah.
the captain?
You're considered the same level of authority for instructions once you guys were in the air, but in terms of ship setup, no. You can't bark an order at someone and expect them to follow it because they're currently listening to Roy give them correct orders.
So I like to think I'm doing it, but
Yeah,
nobody's
you
listening.
you could be yelling different things using different sailor terms, and some of them kind of look at you and sort of nod, and you think they're getting the
all
message that
delivery,
you're saying,
yeah.
but they're not listening to anything
They're
you're
all
saying.
speaking another language. I
No,
don't
they're all
touch.
speaking in common. It's just none of them
around your
are
bench.
taking what you've
It
said
might do
as what
something.
we're supposed to do. So you're saying things like, raise the gangplank, and one of them looks at you and nods and then runs over somewhere else and starts packing something down instead. Oh, you grabbed a bunch of nuts, not him.
You're like, no.
It's the same one.
Yeah, but they have bases, so they'll actually stand.
So do those ones. Look, they're standing. Earthquake! We lost half
Point
our
and
forces.
case. Even though it's
Why
like
are
the
you,
case
why are
and
you
point.
trying to... What are you doing to us? That's us.
What? It's us.
We're
Yeah,
the
can
ones
you
flying in
give them
the
that
ship.
base?
Oh, true.
That makes sense.
Wait,
And
so
I'm
that
okay
guard's
with
raping the
fucking
ship?
angels.
There's our underwater
No,
team.
that's just us on the ship. See, we just
You
got to
don't have an
stack.
underwater team.
We gotta
If there was an
stack them.
underwater team, it would be you and probably aces.
Yeah, exactly.
Buy me some fresh
Yeah, I
things.
could go underwater.
We're gonna go and just sit over
Oh.
here, but not for infinitely.
Actually, I can.
All I have to do is baff it, and you don't live. You don't live.
This is considered aces. You're aware of his position.
I like his sword. It's pretty. Wait, no, he doesn't.
And
I have a personal quest, by the way.
Is it to kill me?
That's Drew's.
Oh, good. That's fair.
That's a side quest, and
I know that I'm
it's
wrong.
one. It's one that it's just a. Okay, if it happens, I get a bunch of XP. Cool.
Now,
I'm not
Aces
gonna-
is in command of the ship.
I like to think I have a
Yeah.
diary and it just says you are wrong, and every time I erase it, it comes back.
You can't erase it.
Yeah.
You try and erase it, and then another one comes up next to it, and again, and again.
At least the calligraphy is beautiful.
And in the middle of that, get the ship ready.
Oh,
bitch.
right.
okay.
Who's that?
It's Mysterio.
It's the underwater team.
So he actually is.
No, there isn't.
No, there isn't. But he just wanted to have an underwater team on the map.
We got the fly, we got the air, we got the ground, we got the water.
True. Yeah.
So I mean, technically it should be here because I'm on the ship.
Also, I forgot, what's the triggering thing for the wild magic?
It's a D20 and roll a 20.
Any level 1 spell or up.
Yeah.
Casts wild magic table.
Just 20 or 19?
What's that?
Because it's you roll. Wait. It's you cast a spell, you roll a
So
D20,
trying
the
to get
D20
to
turns
my-
into
might be
20, then you
Yeah.
roll on the wild magic.
I've played in
Otherwise,
maybe
On
give it another
normal
go.
wild magic,
So
yes,
taunted.
the magic item he's
Like,
wielding
uh,
causes any first
No
level
matter
spell,
what.
any first level spell upwards to go wild magic,
And then,
No
like,
matter what.
no matter what.
So it's
Can we change that to, like,
You're never going to be able to cast a spell.
Okay. Should we change
And,
that to like
unless you unattune to it.
I don't want to do that. I want some wild magic.
That's the point of that glove.
The point of the glove is
everything.
it's either
I was gonna
everything
say
or
you
nothing.
can
If you
say
want
that.
control of what's going on, you can unattune. You don't have to take it off. You can just unattune to it.
Nah.
Alright, look, I'll try before
So
I
now
buy
you
it.
no longer have. You just know
Very
that you can do 4 and 3 wild magic.
That's fair.
But you can heal us and
It's a
blast and
timber and
keep
stone
spells
like
and things
game.
with some of your wild magic. But at least you got
It's
something.
like I've noticed that all games like that, they get abandoned.
Okay, so as you're running around, can I get Johnny to roll me a perception? And as you guys are running out of the main castle, I need you guys to roll perception.
Like Terra.
Go.
I have like 10 league accounts.
10 what accounts?
League. I don't even have that on my computer
Natural 20,
anymore.
yeah.
You?
I haven't played
I
it.
see everything.
I'm kind of tempted to get it again, like for giggles.
That is 14.
By the way, we have that for a reason.
I rolled a 2!
From one of them.
I rolled a 2!
Let me see if I get a 2 as
You rolled a 20.
You.
There was a 2 in there.
Oh wait, no, that's my dice. Oh, that's good.
I also got it.
Okay, so and you guys have Bart with you as well. Though.
Yep.
Gotta keep track of that.
He's pretty wise.
We got woof woof with him. Oh wait, this is a wisdom roll? Yeah, I would have been fucked anyway.
No, it's a perception roll.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would
it's
have been
still,
fucked
it's still
anyway.
wisdom though.
Apparently I'm great.
So as you guys are rushing
my
out
time on the
of the main,
I see shit.
like everyone, like the soldiers and things, are very much on edge. No one's in like a massive panic at this stage, but everyone is very much hurrying in directions and things, and you kind of get the idea. Okay, things are like people know what's going on. They're getting orders, but no one's freaking out and running away. So it's the calm before storm kind of thing. As you guys run out of the main like entrance area that you guys have walked through many times. You look to your left and just so happen to see a tabaxi who is sitting up near a tree and is currently loading a gun and looking around like he's aware that something's going on. You've seen this tabaxian before. You saw him. You saw him in the trials.
I attempt to whistle. I don't know if I can or not. I figured
Do
that's
you
something
have
that
lips?
Yeah, that's
Makes R2D2 noises.
I do, but they're not.
roll me a performance.
Yeah. At a disadvantage.
That's gonna be like a what? A 12 maybe?
Did we decide on the damp knock?
I would have said you got a beatbox, then I would have given you an advantage.
Yeah, 11.
11. You guys hear luggage make kind of a noise that you've heard him make before, like he's trying to whistle, but you also don't know because luggage makes weird noises half the time. So
You right there, buddy?
Cat. Bring
Yeah?
cat. Bring cat. No, other cat. Bring cat. Friend cat.
You-
Cat friend!
luggage is able to point out where he is.
I shout out at it as I'm continuing on this. Cat friend!
Very determined.
Pointing at him.
You point at the cat who's currently sitting there with a gun, looks over at you,
Another shot?
sees Fitz.
Hello.
Another gun on the ship?
I don't know if it's all safe to take him, but
Wild card? Wait a minute, we have a wild card.
As you flash the beast, talking a
Fitz
cigar,
Fitz will beacon to him to
wearing my pirate's hat and shift's hat on top.
Roll me a persuasion.
I'm sitting there thinking about it.
It's not looking good, but maybe my relationship with him.
This is why you're the one rolling persuasion.
Maybe we cancel each other out. Who knows?
It's only 9.
He looks at you, nods his head, takes one step forward, stops, looks back at what you know as his home, looks back at you, and you can kind of make out his ears kind of sort of droop down a bit, and he steps back again and just stands there.
Okay, Fitz will shout out to him. You can always go back.
Perhaps we could just hand him some aid. My hand reaches into my head, trying to think of bits and pieces
always
that I
throw a
could possibly
grenade.
grab to him.
What?
But the only thing I really
Outdoor.
have that can help would be a drink of alcohol and some food.
Wanna come play on an airship?
He wanders down. He wanders down the path, and you say, "Come play on an airship," and he looks at you. What is airship?
We're going on that. We'll be able to see everything. Kids do like our
You wanna fly?
princess.
Oh. Free food.
I mean, yeah.
He loads the gun back on his back and starts running over to you guys.
Think. Puts it upside down.
It's already packed it real tight.
He runs up. There isn't the sound of a bullet. There is the sound of it just going bang against things as he runs along. He's tall enough. He runs over to you guys and he stands there.
I mean, if he was so enthusiastic about free food, I did just pull out booze and a thing.
Making quite
It's not necessarily free food though.
entourage.
It's just you've pulled out booze and a thing.
Maybe
You've
we
seen
can
people
make
pull
it.
out booze and
We
things
just need the old
I'll
guy.
hand it over
with
to
the,
him.
gun
He'll
and
take the
walking
food from you.
stick.
He doesn't touch the booze.
Cool. Alright.
Alright, so quick detour.
We
We're
just
gonna
need
pick up the old guy with the gun
No,
walking
no.
stick.
I'll hold that for a moment. You might want that.
By quick detour, that's
It's not happening.
What are you wanting to do? Go
It's
and grab
not
the old
happening.
Do
man?
you want to go up there?
No, it's just a joke. The old man, another gun, a person with a gun.
If you would like, as we fly over, I can drop down and give him a visit.
He doesn't even know it's a gun. It's like,
He doesn't even know there's something going on around him.
He may not have a house left if I fall down there.
No.
If I land badly.
Leave him alone.
doesn't matter.
You bully.
I'm not trying to be a bully. See, go down and get him. Okay.
Shitty goblin.
Pulling it off. Oh, scratch that. Okay. Let's make our way to the ship now. Carry on. We have
On
another gun now.
your natural 20, as you basically you've
Flick a cigar into Roy.
you've been yelling
That's
orders at
what
different
that's
people,
the
and
sales.
you walk over to the side of the ship and sort of lean back, and while you're leaned against the side of the ship, you sort of look around. Everyone's sort of getting things ready. You
It's
watch
going
a couple of minutes.
well.
Everything seems to be going well, and your eye catches something across the harbour on one of the other docks, and you look over, and there is for a brief moment, there is a very mean-looking guy standing on another ship who's just as calm as you are. He
So happy
sees
I
you.
bought these binoculars.
He seems just as calm as you are.
Why is
You
he
both
chill?
you both make eye contact, and then he darts below deck.
Is that like another of our ships?
There's another one of the boats that are at the dock.
Yeah.
Right, so we're just
Okay,
looking
right,
across
right.
from each other like that.
Yeah. So you guys
It's
are
just like a weird interaction.
this one
gotcha.
here.
Oh, for a second I was going to be
Put
like,
that one up there.
is he making fuck baby eyes at me?
No, he seems to be.
Me to you, you to me.
He seemed to be doing what you were doing and just kind of mindlessly staring out. Saw you and went, "No," and then
Oh, right. He sees me as a captain. It's the ship in the pirate's head. That's what does it.
I feel like it's a minor illusion pirate.
No, it is. It is.
And everyone else knows it's a minor
Oh.
illusion pirate hat because no one.
and the problem is every now and then you
It says
forget.
pirate.
It is not a pirate ship either.
Every now and then you forget to recast the adjustment of it, so you walk away and the minor illusion just sits there.
It's spelled pie rat.
Yeah, I'm older.
Pie rat.
You try to stay like
This
in the
is
same
cute.
spot for as long as possible, so it just sits there facing everybody. Whenever someone calls to your attention, you look and your head like clips through the illusion and goes back again.
Hang on. My hat's back. I just like have to stay real still and I'm concentrating.
Gotta love that minor illusion is a cantrip.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would be out of spell slots. all the time.
If he was even casting.
Sorry, no, it's prestige. Minor illusion is a spell slot from me.
No, I've got it as
No, mine is a cantrip. Minor is a cantrip.
I have good cantrips for a
Image?
reason.
Something image then.
Minor image. It's something that can only stay in a still location, and which is why he clips through his hat, because every time he casts it, it resets itself.
Jeez, you have a lot of cantrip.
Yeah, it's to make up for the other problem.
These ones, yeah.
Yeah, they're all from the glove.
Go on.
Yeah. So you
My
guys.
little problem, you just assist. Wow, magical.
Chomp our way to the
Every soft
Yeah,
and
sure.
it itches a bit.
Get that bit of smudge.
You guys come up. As you guys make it to the gangplank sort of area to get on
Like
the
I gotta
airship,
sell for
Roy
that?
is standing at the back of the thing. As you guys approach, he salutes you as you guys come on. But he does it with different hands each time because he doesn't quite know what he's supposed to be doing each time he salutes you guys coming on.
Good work.
Does he do it
Do
correctly?
the old leg now.
Because technically we're a higher rank than him, so if he goes like this, as he should first, then when I do this, he has to stay like this until I stop.
Yeah, for the Emperor.
No, he doesn't do it like that because he's not saluting you by rank, he's saluting you by respect. So he's just hi to you guys as you guys come in. So he's doing this. He's not actually.
Just makes me think of that robot chicken. Emperor's going along with
Oh,
that.
Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper.
Fuck you. Eat a dick.
I'm slightly confused.
Have you walked onto the ship?
As I did that to him. Okay. Anyway, carry on walking up onto the deck.
So you guys all wander onto the airship.
Patiently, making sure that the gameplay doesn't break.
There is no issue with it going on. You're going on.
4 people, well 6 people,
I
and me.
sneak up behind him and just yell into the stone. Hey, again! From all directions.
It's like, oh, my nipple's talking. Oh, wait, it's the rock. My hat!
When you do that, the rock goes, vroom, bounces onto the deck and fumbles along and lands.
Roy, get that!
Lands next to Kevin, who picks it up and looks at it.
Not you, Kevin!
Looks at you.
Is it Kevin
Looks at
Smith?
you.
I hate him.
Looks at you.
Sup, Kev?
Hated you as
Talkie
well.
rock.
It said my name.
Hey,
It's
I
mine.
said hi!
Hi,
Throw
Rock.
it at you.
He sticks it into like a little pouch in front of him and he goes, Rock likes me.
You
Keep
can,
it there.
you
I
can
don't
now
want it.
communicate with Kevin. He can't hear. You can't hear him, but you can.
Tell him his
communicate.
plays are terrible.
You're a good kitty.
Different Kevin.
Oh, okay. This is brother.
Kill them all. Only Drew can talk to Kevin through the rock. Because Drew has the other rock.
Totally
Make a
makes
note of that.
sense.
You didn't bomb and dogma you.
I will make sure everything is stowed below correctly and nothing's gonna fall away.
Yeah,
That's just advisable life. Plus,
everything
really.
below deck is pretty much fine. Everyone's been doing this.
Good.
My stuff is
People
not
being
strapped
good.
I don't have stuff. Let's be honest.
I will go upstairs and hand you all your loose stuff.
Oh, I have stuff?
I don't know. You said the stuff's not strapped down, so I assume it's the loose stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a tarp, here's a rope, here's a random friggin' piece of metal that I found, here's a nail. I also found this cannonball. Thunk.
I just like put the back in the pocket I'm holding out and it's like, just put it in there. We'll deal with it later.
Wait, no, you can't open that on this deck, I don't think.
Yeah, I need to just
Your
flatten it
portable
out.
hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
20-foot radius hole, will it be able to fit without any issue on the ship? Like,
yeah,
with
no,
people
the
running
ship
around
is full.
trying to do stuff?
The ship is like
Give you the
45
communication hub.
across,
The kitty can talk to kitty.
and there is a roped off section for his hole.
I planned for
The
this.
crew
Flex
has
doesn't
actually
do.
roped off a section.
Okay.
One of the things you would have noticed when you walked onto the ship is there was, for some reason, there's an empty
That
section
you
of the
speak
deck
his
that's been
language.
roped off.
You could
There's
have,
nothing in
sneaky
it. There's just an
kitty
empty
talk
spot.
with him.
And I seem oddly calm about it.
slowly
Like, more on the ball you've ever seen in your life.
I'm just
Turn
waiting
into
for
a
you
warlock
to
in
now
Nurse
dig
Patron.
up the cannonball.
I'll
Because
have
there
to
is now a
Oh my
cannonball
god, I
in
guess in
there.
some ways you kind
I
of
have to
are.
ask for your help when we get to that stage.
You're the one who keeps giving a man munition
that's
and
heavy.
guns and shit.
There's something... Shit, he's already jumped off. Alright, somewhere else.
More grenades.
Boys!
Used to run.
Roy.
Roy comes up to Drew.
He's still up. Ask Roy.
Drew?
Go on, just
Roy comes up to you and says, "Take off," and starts yelling at people, "Ready for takeoff!" and starts wandering around and wanders over to the top part of the ship where the captain had been standing the entire time, and he stands next to the captain as the airship's like the blimp part of it in the middle starts to like inflate a bit more, and
No smoking, anyone.
a bunch of the side riggings and things are all pulled off as the ship slowly starts to take off and start going up.
I cast Gust as if it helps.
There's a brief moment when one of the ropes moves.
Fuck yeah.
In the opposite direction, the other ropes are moving.
I wait till we're actually at a point where it's starting to get into the air and then change the wind to help. Using mastery of air.
I told him to do that.
Currents start to give us a bit favourable. Bit more of a favourable
You
wind.
get about 50 feet up in the air. It's basically just vertically flying up.
Just making it so that we don't fight against wind if we ever need to.
There is the feeling of a bit of wind that's sort of rushing around, but it doesn't feel like it's a strong wind happening at the moment.
And we're not a sailboat either, are we? So it's more on propulsion than... Yeah. Think a zeppelin with a boat on the bottom of it instead.
What's just gonna
Yeah.
go
Oh,
around
man, I
taking
was thinking
notes,
we
sort
had
of
a mask for
looking at
some
contraptions on here and how it sort
My
of
head
runs.
Yeah, you've seen this ship run before, so it's
And
more,
yet I know
oh,
better.
that's how that is done, because you weren't paying attention to this particular thing last time. As you're walking around, you notice Kevin is standing on the side of the ship as it's going up, and his claws have just latched to the side of the ship, but he looks mesmerised by everything out there, but also paralysed in fear.
1, 2, 3, nudge. We're
I'm not
only about...
seasick anymore for some reason.
You're not the
Flying.
sea. You're not the sea.
I'm like, this is way better than on the ground.
It's almost like it was designed for
This
this.
is, yeah, way more comfortable.
We landed in the sea, and that's where you were sitting the entire time, and
Yeah.
it was seasick. Now we're out of the sea, you're not seasick. Because we're not on the sea. Makes sense. And it's okay, Spain.
I honestly thought we were at a dry dock, which made the seasickness more funny.
See,
So,
that kinda makes
I
sense.
was eating next to the bottom of the ship on the land.
I thought it was already sitting in the air. Like, I thought that's just up on a. You go up.
Yeah, like a
That's a waste of magic.
Like an Orgrimmar Zeppelin.
That's a waste of magic when it's not being used.
Not the point.
It's an airship that's designed to be both water and sea. It's got them because it essentially is a boat attached to something that lets it fly.
To be fair,
Just imagining
Orgrimmar's
the
for airships.
Fitz will thread one of his feathers
That's what
into
I call an erection.
Kevin's clothes.
That's what I call giving
Yeah.
head.
Creating it.
Kevin looks at you doing this.
It's shiny, isn't it?
He looks like he's wanting to pat it, but his hands are just. And he goes back to looking out. So the
If it
airship,
falls off, we'll be able to see him at night.
the airship is now considered in the air, and it is about 200 feet up now.
Be like the
Need
Lego.
Lego bricks.
I feel like
I will
the
put
growling
myself at
would be a good.
either the bow or the stern, whichever is going to be most
We'll be able to
advantageous
pinpoint his
with
body
my couple of men that I've
on the ground.
accrued my grand spot to just keep an eye out and
Depends on how he lands.
Do you have like a
Be
plank
able to
set up to
monitor.
jump off?
Just ends up covered
I'm
in
literally
blood.
just going to
Oh,
grab
no.
the edge and jump.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to tell
Is that
them
blood
we're
shiny?
jumping
I'm
and
not
jump.
sure.
I hope this is like a little gate, you know?
So
I
the,
assume there's a gangplank there is a gangplank. I could
there's
pull- push out, jump off it.
there's two side gangplanks to go out.
There's one for my side to throw shit over.
Literally
But I
just
could
imagine
also
being
just
an
jump off
Orgrimmar
the
ship.
edge. I don't
I'm not saying you can't, I'm just saying
I
there's
was
a right
like,
way to jump off the ship.
Yeah, there is. Like this.
To be fair, luggage has not jumped off a ship correctly yet.
Okay, that's fair.
He has
I don't
jumped
think there's
off
a 20
twice,
you
and
can
both
do off
times someone has
parachute.
cast jump on him and causing him to jump further than he
Like a
intended.
wonder.
You won't figure it out. You die with it anyway.
Better I just wander.
I'm just talking about fucking up my jumping off ship attempts.
Oh,
We're talking about looking after the other cat.
Yeah, no, you are.
No,
So
we
the-
are.
No, you are. We are talking about something else. Anyway.
So perspective for your flight as you get to 200 feet up.
You're the only one who can hit people?
Yeah, you guys are about 250 feet up now. Technically, range isn't because you're up. It's not a complete. No, only he can hit people. Like anyone can take something and lob it off the ship.
Damn right. That's the crux of my plan, as I say to God.
The walls of the castle, as you guys fly up, you realise around basically the lower ends of here, so the outer parts here are all about 150 up. This area in here, this wall it appears to be slightly higher. You're not too sure how much higher. And then the castle in that seems to be about, at the pinnacle of the top of it, seems to be about 200.
This is about 100 away from us. As we're 250, that's 150 up. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So about 100 from there, 250 to here, and then varying.
Yeah, so each wall is 100 plus. So,
yeah, I got you. Cool. Mainly just making sure I got the math right on that.
Is it all flat, or is it going like this?
it does jagger like
Okay.
this. It's not a perfect. This is here, then suddenly it's this like a Minecraft build, but it's mechanical wise. If you're wanting to jump to an area with the lowest point, the highest point to land on top of, so that your feather fall doesn't cause it to dispel halfway through the fall.
You get to build the stage.
So yeah, I'm giving you ways of jumping out of the airship. As your airship reaches 300 and now is at cruising altitude, Roy and the captain both.
You're now a cruising.
Roy and the captain both kind of look at you, sort of waiting for a direction.
Where are the evil
Patrol.
thoughts?
Yeah.
We have main invasion is from northeast.
Basically,
It's
just
going
doing a
northeast.
general sort of circling of points.
So you guys
I
want
would
to do
recommend,
this?
as I have been spending most of my spare time mucking with the defences and helping out, you would understand as well that this is generally going to be the best places for us to be defending initially, because this is the most defended place there is. Although it's probably going to be the most attacked places, but the attacks themselves are coming from this sort of a direction. So this door, and possibly that one over there might be worth looking at. But there's 3 main entrances plus the water here.
And we've seen nothing over there.
Over out in the ocean,
Yeah.
that one? No, you haven't seen anything from the ocean.
But it's the ocean. If we're going to see it, it's either underwater because it's fishing,
My ears prick up.
or it's boats, and we'd be seeing them.
Damn seasick bastards.
So where are you primarily going to be hovering?
I would say
Yes.
Like
loop
that corner?
of this
Yeah.
main central.
So you're hovering here.
If we can be stationary, yeah, somewhere.
You
about,
can be
I would
stationary.
say about halfway.
The airship isn't a plane; it's like a helicopter. It can hover and spot.
Yeah, cool. I would say about there would be good for us at least, because then we still have vision to some form of way that way. Some this way.
Can I get perception rolls from?
Need
pull up-
perspective works.
Pull up my perspective dice.
15.
9.
To the gods.
What does a dice that
16.
wants chocolate sprinkles get?
17.
Chocolate sprinkles.
So I'm still holding those binoculars. Apparently.
I don't see. And I'm the one that's trying to intentionally see. I'm putting myself at a point to look.
And
15.
and what did you get?
12.
Did I seriously see
9.
the
Sorry,
best
9.
again? I've
No,
missed the
You and,
binoculars.
you and I saw the best last time. Thank you.
Drew, Fitz, and Johnny will see this. Luggage, vaguely aware of things happening.
He's gonna read
I'm
my mind.
watching the little people run.
You're watching the ants run around below you. You notice up north, up here, sort of just north of the territory area, a bunch of units start popping out.
That's right.
So I've made a,
Stormtroopers taking that shit.
I've made a map.
More jelly beans! Wait, does that mean we get to eat them when we kill them?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not
why
gonna get
can
to
I
eat
go?
any jelly beans. I never get kills.
That's right, you can drop explosive potions
Right.
on people.
That's what
No, I
you
can't.
guys are able to see a bunch of units from these two directions.
was the
You
original
aren't able to
officer,
make
too.
out what kind of units they are. You just know there are units there.
Are they on the ground?
Can we
Yes.
tell
Okay.
if they're friendly or
It's a
not?
fair question.
Anything outside of
Are
the
they just
town is
hovering?
probably not friendly.
Nice, okay.
I'm just like, are they on the ground? And then you look at me facetiously and I'm like,
If,
we're in
if
a
they
fish!
look like they're running in panic and they're not armed, they're probably us.
No, they don't.
Shush you.
They don't appear to be running in panic. They appear to be walking in formation.
Fitz is going to call up Kevin with him
Okay.
to get him to a position to, go for target practice, I guess.
Drew's using his big eyes to spot everything for everyone because his range is not good enough.
Your range is considered double when you're in the airship, because
Even for like a firebolt, which is a max range of 120.
spells don't include that range. So if you throw something out of the airship, your range is considered
The
technically.
most I could do is
You,
smoke him.
you just have to throw something forwards, and it would consider going down.
So you have to question the distance away from us, rather
So-
than.
More importantly, what am I gonna throw?
How far away do you
He's
think
got a-
they are?
As you're questioning this to yourself, you look over as Johnny
And
has
I'm just
walked over and flipped out the portable hole, and there is
Yes!
just a pile of arrowheads.
And it just comes up out of the ground. I'm prepared, and I look so serious.
You say that, and the rest of the crew, who've been kind of bewildered by the logic of this
Yeah.
area, who have all been sort of arming themselves like not pistons, javelins. What do you call them? The things that fire.
Crossbow.
Ballistas,
Not ballista.
Slingshot.
harpoons.
Harpoon. There we go.
Oh,
A bunch of them have been arming themselves with harpoons on the side of the ship as they can fire downwards with them.
yeah.
All kind of look over at this pile of arrows and look at you. And there's the sense of bewilderment from some of the crew.
Drew,
I lean
Drew's
over
actually
and pick up-
impressed.
We need to be over the top of them.
I pick up the cannonball.
Yeah.
Also, technically, you do have one item you can throw at them.
I don't want it to be big.
If you put it into sword form and throw it off the ship, you can recall it.
Good point. Good point.
So can I tell whoever's driving, flying the
You,
ship?
you can yell random. Basically, the logic is if you want the ship to do something in particular,
Yeah.
you can tell Roy.
Take us over the enemy.
How far away
Wait,
are we from
Have I
him?
got a
Like,
sword
You're
on
here. The enemy is just outside here.
Alright, what enemy do you
This
want
just
to go
got
for?
cool.
Closer
This
or the further away?
Sword meal.
this one here is very distinctly bigger than this group of enemies here.
Okay.
how many
Fuck the
feet, though,
royalty.
roughly?
How many feet?
Remember,
Um,
as I tell you, this is heavily defended.
Yeah, that's
We're not going to have to fuck
The
the
bigger
royalty.
they
They're
are,
going
the
to look
harder
after
they fall.
themselves.
that's what I mean. Like
Yes.
we're gonna ignore them.
Yes,
That'll be fine.
that is correct.
Okay.
I'm just more saying it's
I just
not
wanna know
a
if I
worry.
could
Clarifying our
possibly throw
misunderstanding and then
something.
going.
More just pointing out, it's not a worry. We're
Kevin.
gonna, it's not saying.
What
fuck
are you
the
wanting to
royalty, they're
throw?
looking after
Oh, one of
themselves.
your
They're
explosives.
fucking everyone
Impact
else.
grenade.
I already
I don't
have
know if it
the
never.
pile.
Fuck
As
the
like,
royalty.
Just
I don't
tell me
have
what
a
we're
damage
not
on
over
it.
civilians.
I've got a thing for it. I found a.
Real
then-
French Revolution over here.
And Roy's
I'm
already
not
done
gonna
like
use
one
the
shovel
stats for
over
it.
it, and I'm like, no!
So
Oh Lord, look!
Roy's up there. He wouldn't.
Look, honey, there's something in
each
the
of these
sky.
squares is considered 100 feet
In both eyes.
Oh,
in
okay.
terms of map distance and things. But if you're hovering above them, then you're technically considered within range with throwing things out of the ship.
Gravity
Yep.
is your friend.
Oh, yeah.
I can
But they're
also throw
about like
things
300 feet distance away, I guess. Yeah, okay, yep.
Disadvantage at maximum range for shooting. As you get round by round, you're slowly getting closer. You're going to get fine to shoot them, but
I can hit them from where I am without disadvantage.
you're sharp or
I can't throw my thing though. I'll be at disadvantage if I throw from here.
If you throw your grenade out from the ship, you just have to be above them to throw it out, and then it just
it's
falls.
physical distance this way, not that way that you have to worry about.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
us being
yeah.
in the ship. The range on your gun, if I remember correctly, is 300 max, which
Yeah.
means that you would be at disadvantage at max range.
But then I thought since we're higher up, you know,
That would be even harder. You've got to judge the distance up and across. I mean, this is Sam's choice, but normal.
well, aiming
shooting
down's
will-
usually easier than upwards because there's
Yeah.
less less drop.
Or you're playing to gravity's favour as opposed to against it. Yeah. So I wouldn't. I'm not considering anything distance down wise if they're shooting with guns to be disadvantaged.
I'm just saying 300 feet distance at a shot, even if we're considering.
Yeah. If he tried shooting from the airship from here at the guys here, yes, he would be at disadvantage.
Okay.
So as soon as you're in range, if you start firing, your initial shots will be at disadvantage. When you get, I think it's about 150 feet away or something like that, that becomes standard. I can't remember exactly when it turns up.
I like to think half the ship has like a very organised battle plan, and the other half is me with a bunch of guys with spades.
The organised battle plan consists of luggage and a fighter
Like
and
we
a
just
wizard
brought
and a
the
goblin
farmers
standing on
with
one part of the ship, and it's the crew on the outside of the ship with one and a half hours. And the disorganised one is Fitz, Kevin, and him.
I'm just gonna shoot now anyway.
I am currently holding a cannonball over the top, waiting
We're waiting for your okay. You've got the
Give
best
me
side.
a strength save.
to hold my cannonball.
Yes.
Jesus, isn't that heavy?
It's a cannonball.
18 to hit.
Hey,
Um,
why can carry a cannonball?
Multiple.
Multiple
But
cannonballs.
that's no. If you turn on weight, they are the heaviest thing in the game.
Yeah, they are. I have a
19.
gun that's using it on survival. It sucks. I have to shoot something. and then
so
go
what
pick
was your
it.
18 to hit?
5 bullets.
Cool.
Bullets are
You're fine holding the cannonball. Roll me damage.
That's right.
So I'll put it on the it's lightning shot.
Are you rolling a
Think
d20 for damage?
Why not? No.
Don't hold me back.
Hold on a sec.
Living the
So
life I want
the,
to live,
the
thank you.
lightning shot turns
So-
one of your
You
dice.
This one-
add the dice
This one will
together,
be the
guys.
lightning one.
Yep.
It's free.
Okay, potions.
Wow, that's a
Jeez,
bad.
that's
So there's
17.
a 6 for the lightning and
11.
11 plus. It says plus 8, but I swear it's plus 6.
It's okay. It's okay. It's dead. Or at least you think it's dead.
Dex plus weapon.
Something doesn't appear to be moving that you'd be firing at.
Okay.
Dex plus weapon. So if you
Okay, so it is
That
plus
group
8.
advance
not
is dead.
proficient. You don't add proficiency
He's
to
dead,
it
Jim.
like you did previously. So if you're to hit as an 8, you just take your dex off, your proficiency off that to hit. What's your to hit with your gun?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you did it. You put 8 there, and I'm like,
So plus 8 to hit,
yeah, you hit. Like,
Yeah.
and dex, your dex is, your proficiency is 3, so it's plus 5 to damage.
yeah. Well, my dex, yeah, dex is plus 5. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. My dex is.
Yeah, the
20.
gun has nothing. Yep, cool. Plus
Do they
5.
start shooting back?
We're good.
I don't know if I can hit us from here.
Yeah. Do they attempt to? Or do they just look real angry?
You said,
It's hard to tell.
Okay.
It looks like you've just
if
fired
you're
something.
listening really,
Their eyebrows
really well,
might
you
be
might
doing
hear it.
You just hear somebody going, Jimmy, no!
I don't think I
Neal,
can see one.
sponsor boy!
I now understand that we're actually shooting
I
at
know
something.
they will never forgive me.
Because no one's told me that we've seen anything
They've
yet.
both got cyborg
No,
parts or
no
whatever.
one has told you that they've seen anything. You've gotten one request
Yeah, we also
from.
see tiny little
You've
sparks
got one
as things get
request
up.
to move this
Oh,
way by Johnny. So the
Yeah.
ship's been moving this way, and Fitz has just gone.
Then I
I'm
see
going to
gunshot.
urge Kevin to shoot after I shot. Like,
Kevin as well.
Does he?
Man.
What's he?
You're 300 feet away. You have no idea. I was only giving you that knowledge that you'd killed something because you need to know that you'd killed something.
I presume my gun would have at least the scope.
Can we do perception again? To
You
see
could
how many there are?
What's that one that's working?
Yep, you can roll perception.
No, it's not.
Nope. I dropped my binoculars. That's a 7.
You pull out this binocular thing and go, ha-ha! And then it slips out of your hand and just falls.
Fuck!
12.
Me, Cat, get my binoculars.
11. Oh, well, fuck you.
That makes way more sense.
21.
Cool. All of you guys are aware of the horde that's currently coming out of the forest here. Fitz, with your 21, you're able to identify this horde. It's a horde of goblins, mixed in with orcs and hobgoblins charging.
I know
There's
someone's
still
going to
about
enjoy this.
100.
And you're pretty sure the thing you killed is a goblin.
They're about 100, 200 feet from the
So it's
actual
like-
walls, yeah?
Yeah.
And our defense plan is keep hold
Come
the
to
walls,
Yep.
correct?
That's
Come to terms.
So if
Yeah.
you don't
yeah. So there's the groove.
It's filthy goblin. No.
turning to my,
We're all green.
God, they're
As long as you specify
disgusting.
green, I'll be fine.
we do not want to get caught out over the walls. We are not jumping into the open plains.
You can.
Understood?
Is that what you're saying to
My
your posse?
before, but I'm not jumping yet. I'm just warning them to make sure.
You're
that
saying
they know.
aim for the wall. Yep.
Go, aim for inside the town, not outside the town. Otherwise, you will be left alone.
When you say this, the goblin in the group goes,
He already had like one leg over the post.
like you're disappointed.
Fuck.
We
not
may chase,
mad. He's
we
like,
may
I
chase
was
them
gonna
afterwards,
infiltrate.
but first we defend the wall. Here, you want to try drop this on that? Okay,
Are we above them yet?
we will be eventually.
What are you wanting?
I've got a cannonball. If he's that eager, he can drop this on their head if he wants to.
You mean roll it?
You're gonna break his little
Yes.
arms.
You hand him the cannonball, and it goes, and he looks like he's holding it like this, and starts to the edge of the ship. It takes him about 2 minutes to get to the edge. He's quite buff for a goblin.
Drops it and falls with it.
He gets to the edge of the ship, and goes, and it goes, takes out a chunk of the side of the ship and falls out.
Was
Am I
it
able to
even
mend
near?
that?
It would be mendable later.
I
Yes.
could.
It's only cosmetic damage.
That's not on me, alright?
So the airship is here. You hear this. Anyone want to roll perception?
What's in my little friend? 14.
You'll see this.
14.
12.
You'll see this.
9.
You won't see this.
11.
You'll see this. You all hear the whistling. You all sort of look at, and you watch this cannonball go boom on the path below you. Nothing is in sight in terms of enemies or allies. It's just landed in the middle of this path. There is now a cannonball somewhere down here.
You missed.
Hold your fire or cannonballs or whatever. We're not there yet.
Drew's just
Or
staring at
you're
it.
next. Looking at the goblin.
Hey.
At least we know where it'll land.
Yeah, straight down. Even I knew that.
Also noting that that means it landed on the outside of the wall.
Yes, it landed on the
Just.
outside of the wall just.
Okay, cool.
There's like a little walking path on the outside that all the old biddies go on.
Okay.
Yeah, you
just
just
fucked.
destroyed their path.
Margaret's gonna be fucked off.
I'm going to have to distinguish
Someone
these.
needs to come fix this pothole!
You notice as the goblin horde keeps running forwards, the orcs stop back here, and hobgoblins stop back here, splitting the group. It appears as though 2 of the 3 groups have noticed the cannonball randomly drop. The goblins have no idea and are running forwards.
God damn it!
I assume they're at least all aware of the big, massive ship in the sky.
If they weren't before, they are now.
I spent a week planning this. It took a lot of brain power to screw this up.
I can't hear you. You're all the way back there.
Oh, I'm
I'm at
just
the front of the ship.
furious.
Oh, you can hear him.
If I can't hear him, I can hear you.
I vomit in anger.
I'd say a grenade would be fine now.
To throw? Yes,
Yeah.
you could throw an impact grenade.
I'm much
You'd be able
what
to
is
throw it
a
at the
mix
goblins.
of goblin and undercommon.
Does this ship have cannons?
It does, but they're not downward-facing cannons. They're sideward-facing cannons, which is why all the crew currently have harpoon guns.
Damn it.
I got an idea.
It's not
Cannon?
designed to fight ships with cannons.
Like,
it's not
if
a
luggage hangs off the side,
How long
I'll
would
tilt
take me
it.
to go and pick up another goblin? I wonder. Actually, I can pick up a ton.
How far can you teleport?
I can't teleport.
Oh, okay.
I haven't picked teleport. I can fly.
I was just hoping you could drop the cannon and just go pick it back up and drop it again.
No.
Closest
No,
character to can do something like that is Drew.
Dimension door?
15 dex save. Okay, sweet.
Dimension door.
And
Not yet.
so you are
Alright,
above here.
possibly
So
can have,
take off
Then
one of your
by the
grenades as
time
you
I
throw
can
it.
label and you can
Yep.
label.
but no.
Yeah, I can do it. No, dimension door's like a 3.
I think dimension door is a 3.
Yeah. So no, none of us can. And by the time she can, I can.
Plus Who's
You're all butthurt for a second there that someone can do something you can't.
How can she do it yet and I can't?
okay? Roll me damage.
What do I?
The grenade's a dex save. So you've lobbed a grenade out. Roll me damage.
What like the?
Roll the damage of the
Oh,
grenade.
right.
That's
Sorry, my
what
bad. I didn't
I've
specify
never
what
been
damage
told
was.
the
Yeah.
My bad.
What dice do I roll, boss? You have
5d6.
There's 3. There's 4, 5.
Oh, I think I'm missing this.
I was gonna say my 6s are decent. At least they were last time.
That's
Not bad.
what it does.
You lied about one.
16.
Well, I mean, I got 4 of the fucking things.
Yeah, 16.
Okay.
What do you want out of me? Shit. Not my fault you grabbed the wrong one.
This is my goblin because it's a different stick. That's the mage who's paranoid and
Which one was it?
doesn't
Cool.
like.
So you drop this grenade out the airship. It falls right into the front of this attacking horde of goblins and explodes. A bunch of them flying in different directions, and a bunch of them kind of stop and look up and then look down and start scattering.
Scream!
They've gone from a coordinated sort of lined
Yeah, I'm
attack,
looking
almost
like
like
Baby Yoda.
this is what you're supposed to do, to just uncoordinatedly bolting in directions and just sort of swarming now.
Cool. Can I shovel some stuff off the
You can
side?
You can shovel some stuff off the side.
I would like to assist
Just
him.
as we're moving, just
How do we like?
big line of
Do we
that?
just like...
Yeah, no, we got a shovel. I bought
We're
a bunch
like-
of shovels. We just go.
Oh, sweet, yep.
And I'll slowly reduce how many I have each time.
Could you get luggage to like eat some of him and then just hang off and just sort of puke it off the
When
edge?
you mean eat, do you mean actually eat or do you mean take into my...
Take into your flip.
That's what the friggin' thing on the ground is for.
Yeah, but he's having to shovel it. So if you put heaps in there and
You
can
have
just-
to reach
I feel
in.
like that's partially for the
It's
fun
a,
of it.
it's a bag of holding, you can't just tip it upside down. You have to actually reach in for something.
Unless he puts his hand in the bag of holding him.
I'll look at you and go, "Don't make this complicated. I fucking planned this.
Also-
It's
for once in
murder
my
with
life."
extra steps.
Luggage is currently watching from the top, waiting for the moment where either some point falls,
Math this for a
like
second.
some defences
Should be
fall.
like you should be like a dog, like standing over, going.
You gotta do it
fling
in
it
bits.
between your legs.
Yeah.
Oh, right, that's what's happening there. Okay.
He's
Not
got his
scat,
weapon.
Don't worry.
I've got my weapon. I've got my plan.
Yeah.
Rubbing its butt along.
I don't want to take over his glory because I know I could dig faster than he could. I got
Of course
mounted
he can.
but that's not the point. That's his plan. That's his idea. He's
Okay,
doing-
I need
Perplexity here.
I need both you and you to give me perception checks for whether you're shoveling these in the right directions.
17.
Natural
Natural
20.
20. He
Cool.
definitely is.
You're definitely shoveling them in the right direction. I now need you guys. How many shovels full are you doing each? Essentially, it's an action per shovel.
Okay. How many so it's one action per turn.
So how long can they go for is pretty much the question. Of
Yeah,
shovels and shots.
I'm going to consider this combat starting now. If
Yeah.
you want to keep track of this.
You tell me how many arrowheads per shovel. So I can see how many
Each shovel full will be considered the attack.
Yeah.
Which will be 4 d4s that you roll per shovel.
No, but like how many in quantity? Because I have a limited amount.
How,
Like, are we talking 5?
how
or
many
10?
shovelfuls can he shovel?
Shovel.
Yeah.
Total.
Because I've got in total 1,300 combine the caltrops and the arrowheads.
When his pile starts getting smaller is when I
Are you also
start to-
taking into account that some are going to get hit in the head by them, and then some are going to run over them as well?
Some of them also going to see them coming and be able to put shields up as
Yeah.
well. It's
Random. It's a
That's
dispersing of it.
which is why I'm doing dex saves for
The
them.
one that I see put up a shield is the one that I
You land on.
So your total of arrowheads, I think.
Yeah, I've got 1,000 arrowheads and 300 caltrops. Caltrops. Cow poops.
I've got 300 caltrops and I've got 100 cattle plops.
I really should have been more particular when I told that boy to get what I needed.
Dex save. Ah!
I'm impressed you still got all that though.
You're gonna die of disease in a week.
It's like got cuts from all the caltrops and it's infected from
Yeah.
the cattle plops.
You give him a week, and that guy is fucked.
He has died of dysentery.
That's right, if we survive this fight and he did actually get you cattle plops, I'll go in here. I can do that kind of stuff.
I also forgot I have one glass eye and one jeweled horn. So, Winderdale. Yeah.
So I'm just
Give
gonna
Logan a
math
charge
this.
attack. Or
Give you one Wolverine claw.
no, not a Wolverine claw, because I had those before in my side blades. Meh. Something like that.
Mr.
Too good
Okay,
for jeweled horn.
you can lob these out 60 times.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll count down.
That's a lot of turns.
It's a,
It is a lot of turns.
you'll have some speed.
But of course, if
Let
we
me
get,
know when it starts going low and I'll
If-
stop.
if we get more people
Well.
doing it, then it's obviously going to go quicker.
Yes.
Yeah, so 60 times. So now
It's
we're gonna
60
be-
times per 60 times one person doing it.
Yeah.
If 2 people are doing it, it's 30. If 3 people are doing it, it's 15.
Why are you doing it that way? Do it like it becomes 59, and then if there's 2 people doing it, it's
Wouldn't it be
twice.
20?
Yeah.
He's
people
halving
doing
it.
it.
You do. Okay, so
I'm not going to
60
continuously do it. It's like
Yeah.
every attack is
He's
like
saying
one
there's
go.
60 total charges.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
if you're
but-
both doing it in 30 turns, it'll be gone.
Yeah, in 32.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
if it's 3 people, it'll be 20, not 15.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
he did
division,
bad-
you
He
fuck.
did bad math. Leave
Yeah.
him alone. It's alright, Sam. I got your back.
Aw. That's right, I
I'm
know
going to
you
be
can
standing on the ship for a while, just waiting to jump off, watching you guys toss shit off the edge. That's what I'd be doing. By the way, Sam, just a note for me and my little crew. I'm initially just going to be watching the army and its movements to try and judge where the actual hit is going to come in.
Okay.
Because they're not going to be able to reach us, and I can't reach them currently. Without.
So you guys do 2 round or 1 round each?
Yeah.
Okay, so one set of 4d4s each. So do 8d4s total basically.
5,
4 d4s.
8.
8 all up.
3.
Okay.
6.
So 14 total.
Okay, you lob these off and you notice a bunch of these goblins just sort of like going nuts.
That's the yeah, no, but this is the actual one that's currently.
You also notice a bunch of the goblins turn and start pulling arrows and firing up. The arrows go up, don't go anywhere near the ship, and come back down.
I was going to say. Gravity's on our side, bitches.
I'll call out to the captain. and
Roll
let
me
him know.
roll me initiative now that I have to keep track of who's doing what at what time now.
Sorry.
I will. That would be a 13.
9.
Plus 8. 19.
13.
21
Because cat.
Of course.
plus 7.
Drew, what did you get? 6.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay, so
I got an object. One of my objects gives.
Initiative. Right. Okay.
I will.
I was super confused for a second there. I'm like, huh?
I will call out to
That's
the
like
captain.
2 extra
and let
points
him
out of
know.
nowhere.
who's higher dex between the two of you?
And armor class
Plus 3.
changes
Yeah,
to a
that's
2.
What's your dex? Oh, yeah, well,
27.
yeah, I got a higher. No, he got a higher thing because I'm 13.
Wait,
Yes,
what?
What's
No.
your plus dex?
Sorry, I mean I'm 13. I got plus 4 for dexterity.
Then him.
Yeah.
I'm 3.
Okay.
And I'm happy for him to go first because I'm pretty much holding my action for probably like 4 turns.
I'm first.
I hand you my binoculars.
Plus
You dropped your binoculars.
Damn it!
2. And I'm at the other end of the fucking ship. You can't hand me anything.
You have to take an action to do that. Your
See
action
a-
currently
See,
is
a
shovel.
goblin just gets like bagged in the face by binoculars.
This is both chaotic, but also I have an entire system in play that should work. And most of it involves guesswork.
Welcome to my world.
Mainly because it's horde
Yeah.
mentality.
Mm.
But it's okay.
Percentages of dice to do that bit and this
Yep.
bit and that bit.
So the order will be Fitz, Johnny, Luggage, and Drew. And then if you have specific characters or specific combats that you guys are directly involved in, I will roll their initiative and put it into the order. Your order will always stay this, and they'll either be at the beginning or the end.
Gotcha.
So you won't be rolling initiative anytime soon.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you completely split off and then it becomes irrelevant.
You mean when I jump into there?
Yeah, but I mean split off as in Luggage disappears to another city.
I'm just gonna take these people to the astral plane.
Yeah.
Bye.
For all of you, I'm going back home.
Wait, you said you lost that rock.
What if we just keep going that way and just
Bye.
just leave? See you guys. We helped enough.
Yeah, we dropped off luggage. You're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Screaming and murder.
So technically, Drew and Johnny have done their thing. Luggage is holding his action. Fitz.
Enough. All
Pow pow!
So we'll start a new round in. So Fitz, you're up.
And another one.
I just want to be
And I go
hypnotized of the.
Holy jeebus! So many dice.
5d6.
Oh, that was a 4.
You got to roll to hit.
With
Or
a
you-
grenade.
Or you're
What's
dropping
that
a
for?
grenade.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's alright.
10.
That was sketchy.
That's 6. Yeah, 21. Remember?
Cool. None of them
It
save.
looks like a 7 from here.
So what was the
We
damage?
can say it's a 7.
You can't on a
21. And then after that, Fitz will be pointing down, sort of urging Kevin to shoot another.
Do it. Do it.
And Fitz is getting a bit too excited watching him fling around from the explosion.
His tail's vibrating.
Yeah.
Kevin makes a shot into the horde that's just exploded, and you watch as this corpse goes up and then just gets pinned to the ground.
Question.
Good
My
shot.
ears twitch a little on that one.
Good shot.
Zip.
When they get knocked down or when they explode?
When Zip makes a kill.
But they get resurrected. The zombie ones.
The zombie ones, yes.
So does it count when they get knocked down and are technically killed, or does it?
No, they have to be
When
killed.
they
Family settle down.
That's when.
They have to be killed.
Yeah. So when they explode, technically, but not when they explode itself. Gotcha. Cool. Happy. Well defined.
You do know that the explosions are Fitz, not the goblins themselves.
It smells different.
They exploded on us last time. We punched him in the tower.
These are goblins.
One smells like a battery
Are they
explosion,
number-
one
no.
smells
These are
like gunpowder.
goblins.
Okay. Cool. Sweet.
Your intel was correct, but no, these are goblins.
Then
Luggage, give me a perception while you're holding your action.
Yeah, they're just goblins. Monsters.
Go, Luggage. You're fine.
I don't see shit right now.
There's goblins exploding behind you.
Underneath me. Behind.
Yep.
You're dying.
Johnny,
Hmm.
are you shoveling?
Yeah, because how high up are we?
300.
Yeah, none of my shit hits. Can I use Firebolt to heat up my shovel?
It's not how it works.
Never mind, I'll just shovel.
You could use heat metal,
I don't have
but
that.
then you'd
I
have to
do.
drop the
Shocking
shovel.
grass, can I make them electrified?
It's not how the spell works.
Damn it.
I have heat metal.
I have
You
heat
should
metals.
do that. Just heat the pile.
It would be individual ones you'd be heating.
But
not
then
a
with the
pile.
heat transfer,
It'd be
Not
cooled
that
off.
much.
If you cast heat metal on one single arrowhead and plonked it down, it would, if it impaled onto something, it would stay impaled, and the heated metal would probably kill the creature.
I mean,
But that would require a disadvantaged attack specific roll for that arrowhead.
if you heat metal
I
with a
guess
piece
bullseye
of
when you
pile,
do.
would the heat transfer a little bit?
I've been good.
Not as much as you're thinking. Not effectively to deal fire damage.
Plus,
No.
going by that, if you had a pile of them and you had heat metal with one in the middle and lobbed it out, the air would cool the others around.
Oh, true, yeah.
One would still be hot by the time they got down there. But
And then I'd be rolling a percentile whether that one even hit something or whether it sets fire to part of the ground.
But
Does
you,
it just roll damage?
you can keep rolling again. Well,
yes,
you
roll
don't roll
damage.
again, but you can keep going with it each round.
you'd have, yeah, but that one arrow has hit the ground already.
No, I'm just saying you could heat the pile up eventually. Maybe.
You mean sit there and heat
four.
metal
I don't have
continually
enough
on?
That's
spells
four-
for
that's
that.
44.
You know?
Yes. Or you
don't
can take
need
it,
another slot for it.
9.
You can keep doing it.
the one
And
thing
that
that-
is
as long as you don't toss it over
57.
the edge and you go heat metal on that one and just continually focusing on it for 3 or 4 rounds,
I
you
see.
can heat some stuff.
I get what you mean.
Better idea, ask luggage, go downstairs and pick up another cannibal.
Done. Yep.
Heat
Drew, are you doing the same?
Yes, for the now.
Okay.
Alright, so that makes it 56.
What if I tie heaps of them to my grenade?
Try and make a shrapnel grenade.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nice.
isn't that part of your crafting, tinkering thing in the first place to make the grenades? Is to choose whether you want to make explosive
Cool.
or shrapnel?
You see the
And
power.
now
You
these
just see there's 2
explosive
piles of arrows that go down, and it's just sort of.
I think
There's no real way of telling how much damage you're actually doing. It's just a mass of arrowheads that are just going out. You're also down 4 uses of.
Yeah.
Yep.
56 times to go.
Just so you know, these do like shared damage
Yeah.
in a way. So you do bugger all, but you do it a lot.
Yeah, to a big
Much
group.
AoE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
did
I
1 to
imagine
him,
it slows them
4
down
to
as
him,
well.
2 to him, and 1 to him.
Really?
Well, you've got arrows,
What about the
shields.
caltrops?
How many
The
shovels?
caltrops probably would, yeah.
Yeah.
But you're specifically shoveling a mix of both, so there's not enough to be.
How many shovels does he get to do per turn?
I see like
Should we split them?
Should
I
be
see
two
one that I
votes.
don't like and just
Bonus action?
No, it's a full
Fuck
action.
that
to
guy in
go
particular.
shove. It could be a bonus action if he prepared a pile put to the edge and the
think I
bonus action
recognise
knocked
that
it off, but it
copy.
would still only be 1 pile being shoved off.
So in other
That's
words, if
heavy.
I spent some time putting some stuff off while they're doing it, but
Yeah.
again, I'm up there. The front, I'm waiting ready to
I've had a bit of time to think about this maneuver.
He gave you the plan. We gave you the plans early.
I'm gonna have to try and figure it out on the fly.
Except for when maybe I throw my sword.
20, not natural for perception. I can see
As-
what's
as-
happening now.
As you're standing around, Fitz, you get another shot as well.
I'm just gonna shoot this time.
Pew.
So, of course, it's just a hit.
20 something, high,
Okay.
mid 20s.
I
Yep, roll damage.
think
25.
25.
Actually, what's the base damage you can do without rolling?
4 plus 5, 9.
Yeah, well, if I rolled the
Proficiency's
lowest I could,
The lowest physical possible you could do.
which is 4 ones, right?
4.
You get 46.
No, I get 3d6.
3d6, so 8. Because 3d6 plus 5.
Okay, no. Yeah, if you're aiming at a goblin, you'll kill 1 goblin.
Okay, but I'm using the shock.
It's 1 goblin anyway.
So, shock chain?
So the shock hits another
Yeah.
as well.
So roll the shock damage then and just go,
Yeah.
hey, I killed the guy. I killed the one goblin and
Oh, it's,
dealt
it's only one.
1 damage to the other guy. The mob mentality is
It's just like one of those, like when you touch something, it just gives you a slight little zap.
static. It's big chain.
Luggage, as you're looking out going, oh yeah, there's goblins there, you look over there and you can see this horde is currently, like this group is apparently attacking here, and as you kind of span around, just double check the exact location. that
See
comes
a
from.
dragon. Cyborg dragon. You see XYZ dragon.
You see a horde coming out from over here.
He's backwards, I love it.
Yeah, they're doing Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Oh.
And you also, just so for
It's
convenience
famous
sake,
dance.
you see another group coming up.
So very convenient.
So, just to check, do I see skeletal things?
No, they're just
Cool, just
Enemies.
making sure. And the guys that are closest to us, the ones that we're currently dealing with,
Yep.
are they engaging the wall or are they still running?
No, they are about 100 meters out and have basically. They're a mix between setting themselves up to deal with things coming from above now, and some are being shot at by archers on the wall defense as well. So they're basically pinned here.
And the bad guys over there, when you said they've reached?
Yep.
So they're actually engaged in some form of
They've
combat?
they've reached here, and there appears to be some sort of
Oh, so
combat
it's
going
like
by.
a turret now.
Well, from what you can see though, you
Directly
do
above
see what looks like spells being flied at part of the door.
At us, not
At the
from
moment.
us.
Not from. Not.
Yeah.
It's them firing this way. Some of them appear to be firing fire-based spells and things at the wall.
Bounces off the wall.
Well, I'll relay at least the fact that I can see 2 more armies engaging or coming towards. To at least get some form of knowledge to our crew. Everyone's already engaged doing bits and pieces and stuff, but just so you guys know, yelled that out to the captain as well, so he's the one who's saying that we're flying the ship. Not telling him to go that way, just pointing out there are more there.
Roy says, do you want us to strafe that way?
This is the heaviest hit area, isn't it, currently?
This is the
sheer mob-wise.
mob precision
Yeah.
is the way I would describe it. And there appears to be units coming from here, and you can see a mass of, you don't know what either of these units are, but you can see clearly there is a mass coming from those directions.
What do you think?
And I'm giving it to you that they're attacking as opposed to, is that them running away from something?
Would we be able to use
Leave you
from
guys
here
here,
the cannons
jump
to
off
shoot
that way?
across? Is
No.
that too far?
No,
Or
they
should
can
I
only
go-
fire
I'm-
like a
I'm
small
very
distance
resistant
before
to
they drop.
magic-y sort of stuff,
So you'd
especially
be
fire
risking
spells.
hitting the
So
walls
perhaps
itself.
I should take my
If they were about here,
you guys
probably.
stay.
But none of the cannons
Same
have been
thing where you
prepared.
are in a
So we're
territory.
effectively like on top of that guy.
Yeah, you guys are effectively like blocking this horde while you hover here. This horde can't get to the gate to fight because you're on the way.
I want to ask the captain to get me at least me and my boys to the other door.
Down
The
that way.
precision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Position. So you want him to move the airship that way.
If I could please, and confirmed with others before they all yell at me and scream, I'm gonna go to the place where there's the big scary dudes because I can resist fiery bits that
Kind
they
of
try
feel
and
like
cast everywhere.
we probably should have been there in the first place. Maybe not have actually
Well,
gone on
we
the
just-
ship.
4d4
We high five while shoveling. We're like, fine! Sounds like
4d4
work
damage
will go.
is good against mob,
Yeah.
which is where you are right now.
Yeah,
It's a good
We'll
idea.
drop them off and go back to
Statistically,
the
you
front.
guys are in a good spot for the attack you've designed.
Me-
It's just an attack doesn't just come from one location.
Yep.
Thus, strategic planning.
Be great if we could drop you like on
Thinking,
the edge
yeah,
of
the
wall.
heroes probably should have stayed to fight the heroes.
It's
We
not-
heroes?
Heroes. I'm using that term
Yeah.
loosely.
You asked that question when I land down on the
Yeah,
ground.
like,
choose a
champion.
My superhero stuff.
Yeah. And I just answer that while I'm like, I shovel it up and there's like an arm
Like
that
we're
goes
like
up.
hanging out at top lane while shit's
Oh, I
going
forgot I
on
put
mid
a-
lane, you know.
I forgot to put a body
So
in
yes.
this can
Yep.
with the arrowheads that are crossing over
The
it.
airship will
So
basically
it's all
strafe
armors.
this way. So in one
Yeah.
turn, it can go 3 spots. It'll go there.
I assume they could at least have their.
You guys can have one more
Huff.
hurrah at.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
One more shovel.
So Fitz can roll for another shot. Goblin, hobgoblin, or
I'm actually just gonna.
9 again. I got 9 again.
9.
Man.
That's
12.
7. Yeah, 12. Yeah, correct.
I got 2 right in his kneecaps.
I'm going to summon my
They used to be
turret.
attackers until they took arrowheads.
On the airship? Okay.
Just slit straight through
How
the
big?
knees and then fell to the stumps.
Just me, just one I can hold, I guess.
And he's just there,
Baby
hugging
one
his
on the
legs like,
Well, just baby one, I guess.
Baby one. Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Get it to claw sideways on the banister on the ship. It can actually
Cool.
hold.
As the airship sort of moves like this, you find it sort of semi-easier to shovel a whole bunch. You like shovel off. It feels like you got 2 loads off in one go, but it was 1.
oh good.
And it rains down, and you
Keeping track.
notice a bunch of the goblins go. There's a bunch more of them appear to have actually been killed by this.
You can
barrage.
still fire. Don't forget, Mikey. You can get your ballista to fire this turn as well because you use your action to summon it and use
Oh,
your
yeah,
bonus
bonus,
action
yeah.
to make it do something. It's the way you don't miss out on a turn just to pull out your turret.
Yeah, you get
It's just a straight roll, though, isn't it? I keep forgetting.
roll to hit.
Yep, it's an attack.
I'm assuming goblins, because they're the ones that seem to be the mostly engaged in what's going on.
+5.
Proficiency in dex, I would assume.
Yeah.
I'll do
Well, that's my spell
You roll
thing.
your d20 for now. We'll see if we're going to worry about it.
It doesn't hit. It doesn't hit unless it's possibly 12.
No, that doesn't hit.
Sure.
Cool. So you guys in one round have made it here, and then the next round, 1, 2, 3, you guys end up here, and you notice the
Spell attack.
It's a +5.
Proficiency plus intelligence.
this horn appears to now be about
Proficiency
maybe
3
15
plus
out
intelligence, which
from the
is
wall.
2 + 5.
Okay.
Can we shoot the cannon at them? No, we're too far away.
No, the cannons aren't prepped. Is the other thing. They weren't preparing for cannon fire at this time.
It's my
If you want to yell
Him
at
and
some
I
of them,
differ.
some of the crew
Fuck
will
off, mister.
disappear and start
Oh, okay, yeah.
preparing that. It'll take them a few minutes to do that.
Closer stats than
Go
you,
away.
Wayne,
Just in case.
Enough.
I mean, if they start flying,
You and I
13
have close
strength.
stats.
16, 16, 16, 16.
I guess you go by strength.
wait, does
Mine's
that mean
not
we
that
have
close.
cannonballs on board?
But that's all physical stats? And then
But
intelligence.
downstairs, they weren't planned to be
So,
dropped
like,
down.
on
There
the
was a
robot,
box that luggage
They were
fetched
pretty much the
to
same.
have for cannon. So there was a box of cannonballs on top deck,
11 Chris.
but that's about it.
I thought I just brought up a single cannonball that I found as I was gathering random shit that I
Oh,
thought
did you only grab a single cannon? Okay,
Yeah.
there was only a single cannonball that was
I've got
used.
17 decks.
'Cause
15
I-
cons.
What I had done is I was walking around, he said,
And
grab my
14
shit.
for
I
his
thought it was all the loose shit on the ground and it was a cannonball, which I
So
then picked
aside
up
from
because
this,
I
I
realised he
technically
was
have better
dropping
stats
stuff.
than him.
You got a higher total than me.
As we're getting closer to this side, I would like to take the turn in between, if there is one, to survey and figure out what the fuck is the battle
Roll-
going on down
Roll perception. You guys can roll perception as well if you want.
22. Net 20.
there. 12.
Sure.
Isn't it +1 for perception for you?
Yeah, but it got knocked to a different number.
Okay. And 22.
Well, he got a net 20.
But it happened a little too quick for me to spot.
22, 22, net 20, and something more.
So I guess we'll just
I
go
just
for
I
it.
just assumed that you
got
all can see
dead,
this.
right.
So as you guys go,
Drew
you're
was
able to
assisted
make
by
out about
Fitz.
10 humanoid creatures down there that appear to be the ones firing the magic.
Are they half lion? He said humanoid.
Humans. They're
There is a
They're robed
lion.
up.
There is
Oh,
a
okay.
lion pride.
Yeah, we're fighting the cast of cats.
Yes!
We're fighting with
Fitz-
the cast of cats.
Fucking Mr. Mistopheles, the magical cat.
We're fighting with the.
Fitz, your natural 20 picks up a small group running that way.
Oh, gee, let's just leave, guys. Let's just go to another island there.
Say screw it, go through a portal.
I will not leave my friends behind.
Do we just
Sorry,
toss
he made
all
friends.
the crew out? Everybody walk the plank. We're going elsewhere.
Do
We
these
agreed to help.
humanoid magic cats,
We have.
do they look like they're wearing anything that sort
I
of
have
dictates
not.
them as important?
They look like they're wearing sort of like wizard robe and things like that.
That
Right.
happen to be
There you go.
red?
Do I look
If you have
cautious?
parachute, it's okay.
I'm not here. I've got
Yes.
featherfall. I've got
They-
They,
parachute.
they
I've got
look
one
very
shoot,
similar to a wizard that you guys once brutally murdered.
Fantastic, I'd like to go murder some of them.
You coming with me?
I think I might be actually. Because that guy who like tried to blow
Yeah,
me up with the
they're-
book might be down there.
They're outside at the moment.
And what's with them?
With them?
Because I assume it's not just 10 humanoids standing there casting spells.
No, there are just 8 humans standing there casting spells, and a small platoon of humans have gone this way.
Compared to the horde that was running over on this side, there's 8
Yes.
dudes over there.
Yes.
Alright, I turn to my goblin dude and say, never mind inside the wall, we jump out.
It smiles.
You just pat on the back of the back and go,
Yeah.
whoop.
I got 4 more.
He does not wait.
As soon as I can jump
Step
down to be within engagement range,
So you guys are here. You're about 200 feet out. You say that to him, and he goes,
When it-
"Jump out!"
I
Turns,
stand up.
turns and bolts to where your guys are heading,
I know
and
I
jumps
got
off the ship.
200 feet this way away from them or 200 feet down?
It's
I would like
Two-
to use reaction to grab him before he jumps.
roll.
Dibber, what am I rolling?
Um,
I'm not answering that. So.
athletics.
I think that's 16.
Employee.
Yeah.
Help.
It's the wind.
Very
16.
opinionated.
Cool. He runs and you just grab his
But really,
like
no.
his club thing and he just sort of running like this.
Wait. Hold. We must reach them on the land. Landing. Land on them. Squish them. Good.
Drew, overhearing this, looks at the others that are meant to be squishing. You ain't squishing shit.
Terminal velocity. Many things can be squished.
Do you know what
Not
terminal
with the
velocity
size
is?
of a goblin.
When I fall down, yes, everything below me
It won't
dies.
be squished.
That's the logic I know right now.
Hurt.
I'm
So
falling on shit.
You guys end up. It's really hard to math.
That's alright.
Why don't we just drop the airship on?
You can wing it.
Airship on them all. Just just.
Because
Just crash it
rocking
into
the
them.
airship would probably destroy it. Or
Yeah,
damage it at
probably.
least. I don't want it to get damaged. I
What
can-
is your moves now? You'll be in range to be able to jump out
I
if you
fixed it
want
once
to jump out.
before.
I want to plan. I'll plan to land on
Disgust me,
someone.
didn't you know?
That's
Something,
fine.
someone.
So you're not doing any sort of fearful. You're just jumping onto them.
My mastery of air means I don't take falling damage.
Okay.
So I can literally do my superhero jump and not have any issues with it.
Okay.
And
What are you guys doing? Are you
I'm
staying on airship?
Flyer who's coming with.
As a cat,
If required, I will use my featherfall first on other people and then jump myself.
as a cat, do I get a mastery of always landing on my feet?
You may land on your feet, but whether you take damage or that or not is a different story.
Yeah,
I
cats
wanna-
may always land on their feet.
How
but
many
they
people
will
are you
get
taking
hurt.
off the airship? Are you taking Kevin? Are you, as a party, jumping off? And are you taking Bark,
I'm safe up here.
who's currently been hanging around the
Why
airship?
would I go down?
And I'm assuming your entourage is coming with you.
I'm taking my entourage.
Yep.
I
I
can do more
generally,
shit
because I'm
than
separating
me.
from Drew, would take the next biggest dude I knew and look after Drew. So Bart would probably be trying to say,
Bark has been hovering near Drew for most of the time. No one's told him to do anything, so he's just been hanging
I
around.
requested him save the world with me, so he's my best buddy now.
I wonder if he's doing the shoveling. Not you.
I'm
It's probably
standing
just
up on
Bart
his shoulders going, good boy, keep it up.
He's just picking you up, and you're just holding the shovel. which is-
Yeah. You're helping. Like
Teamwork.
under the arms and you're holding the shovel.
You could pretty much use a sword as a shovel, though.
No, you can't.
could use an axe.
I'm gonna die on that hill. You can't.
So who's
shovels.
disembarking?
I'm safe up here.
Yeah.
Staying in the airship?
Are you
I
taking
can't do
Bart?
shit, really.
Okay.
Splitting the
Are you
pie,
taking Bart with you?
splitting the pie.
If he's
we-
keen to come, then by
We
all
will
means,
bounce to
fuck
a
yeah.
break.
Hey nerd, do you like Dungeons and Dragons? Of course you do.
Do you like people with New Zealand accents? Of course you do again.
Well, what if we told you there was a podcast that did both of those things in equal measure?
Guess what? Here is. Wake up, bucko. It's called The Fate of Isen.
And it's your new favourite tabletop role-playing podcast.
Except for the one you're obviously already listening to, which is awesome, by the way.
We roll dice, laugh a lot, and tell a surprisingly compelling tale about a plucky group of weirdos.
Hey, who you calling a weirdo?
Who gets swept up in a quest to, quote-unquote, save the world of Isen.
There's action, excitement, and there's a lot of apples. Seriously, there's way too many apples. It got way out of proportion.
Weird as my mother's top lip.
Join us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcast action.
The Fate of Isen, new episodes every Sunday.
Get with it.
See you there.
In a world that is stemmed from the mind of a madman, a dwarf,
I am entering a maze. A maze underground.
a cat,
Just a fun little question. Do mushrooms bleed?
a lizard,
So we should kill him first?
an elephant,
Sure, I almost care about everyone else.
and a cow?
No, I'm wearing no armor. I'm a barbarian.
Yes, they band together to fight and escape the drow infested deep down under to bring news of a new threat. This is the tale of the Guardians of the Gigaxy.
Hey there, you beautiful person, you. Do you like podcasts? Well, that's a stupid question because of course you do. Hi, my name is Harley and I'm from the Necropodicon Network. I'm here invading your personal space because I wanted to invite you to come check out our shows. Oh man, we have a whole bunch, just like a big old assorted bag of candy type of deal. We have true crime, comedy, TTRPGs of varying kinds, movie reviews. The list goes on, I just don't have enough spit in my mouth for that. You can find all these shows and more on our website, necropodicon.com. We also have cast and crew profiles for every show on the network. What that means is, you get to see our beautiful faces. For free! The website is constantly being updated, so come on over and have a good time. What are you waiting for? No, seriously, what are you waiting for? You're on your phone, right? Or computer? All you have to do is, I'll let you figure it out by yourself.
Health pot to you. Give a health pot to you.
Drink.
Thanks for that. I was needed a refreshment.
You're meant to hold. Never mind. Here, have a potion. You get nothing.
That's fair.
Don't say no.
You're not the first
I
to
note
say
this
no.
behaviour seems to be repetitive.
I explained. Addictions to you.
I filed that away for later use.
Number 4.
You have something dangerous.
And experiments, yeah. Because he takes alcohol. I noticed that.
Is it
He
to hit
took
or
the
damage?
normal stuff which didn't taste, like which was just like normal
Attack,
liquid,
attack.
and was unhappy.
And
I
save
drank
it.
it straight away. And
Yeah,
he
for
had
all
a
your
potion,
to
but it
hits
wasn't hurt.
and saves.
I wonder what else he'll drink.
If it's in a glass flask, I don't care.
Right. So, luggage, Drew, Bark, and
my squad,
and the squad all jump off. All jump off the airship. Are you casting Featherfall? Who's doing what? Just so I know who's doing what.
I can cast it if you would like, or I mean you've got free use, so you might as well use your free use.
And I've only
that's
got them
5.
for like, what? a week or so.
A week or so.
Yeah.
And it's
So you
5,
may as
and
well.
there's 5 of you. Not me.
So those 3 that are going with you and
You two.
Bark and me.
Okay.
Yeah, sweet.
Cool. You pop out. You take about how long it takes for feather fall. It's like half speed when you fall or something. So
I don't know, but I don't.
I know you don't.
Yeah. I aim for someone.
Roll me a
aerobatics.
Yeah, aerobatics. Whether you land on this person.
We don't have an aerobatics, but let's make one.
Acrobatics.
That's not good. I need my phone because someone's got my character sheet that I actually need.
Just imagine I'm trying to like swim in the air to
Yeah.
try and aim.
It's based off him jumping off the ship to begin with.
7?
I'm gonna have to add a health thing in. I thought
fall on your ankle. Exclusively your ankle.
Well, it doesn't matter what I fall on; it doesn't hurt.
Your
But more
ankle's
to the
now
point
up your
of,
ass.
I'm so used to. I'm
But you're not
expecting
in
myself
pain.
to jump really high from this because I've been jumping really high when I jump off the boat for some reason. This time I don't, and I probably catch the fucking corner of the goddamn or the rail as I jump.
Yeah,
off.
there's
you
like
just
a little
misjudge. It's there. You've not had to aim generally at things below you that often, so judging this is difficult. You get about 150 down, and you can start seeing your shadow, and you realise you're going to land in front of one of these wizards.
I better look like a fucking badass then.
Do a superhero landing!
I would argue that's an intimidation.
I mean, I have pretty much planned to.
I hope he's got his wand out and you just cut his wand off.
As you guys watch this, he is 60 feet per move, so it would be at least 2 rounds before you.
If you go by gravity, it increases
per
each turn. As I'm
It will
as
take
I'm
you
doing this, I will pull zip and shield out.
It'll take you 2 rounds to fall in front of this guy. As you've jumped off, you guys will take 4 rounds.
Question.
Yes.
Shockwave.
Yes.
Assume at least deck saves to see if they don't get knocked over or some shit. Strength to not get knocked over. Shockwave's normally knocked back or knocked down.
Strength.
Strength or con. Normally. Thunder for con. Strength for just general push. I remember.
Catch the one.
So first round goes of luggage out. You guys, do you cast it the first moment you guys are off the ship, or do you fall for a little bit before you cast it?
If we can all fall together, and then yeah. I'll do
Okay,
that
so
one.
you'll fall 1 round with luggage, and then the next round you'll cast it. So you'll land. You'll land 1 round after luggage. I need a perception from you and you.
I assume you at least would get a turn up of something.
6.
Nope.
6.
Nope.
Perception.
I can show you the 22 rolls.
I can't show you jack shit.
As you're falling, 1 round goes by, the airship turns and starts heading towards the city.
I'm like, this is a fun trip.
And you've got the first round, you go right, you cast a spell, your group all kind of starts falling slower. Luggage actively goes, alright, they're there. And as he's looking down, you notice in the distance there is a being running at the back of the wizards.
When you say in the distance,
as in back this way.
Remembering that one square is 1 to 200 feet, that far back.
It's about one and a half. It's about 1.5 squares.
So about here.
He's on the edge.
He's on the edge, running down the path. It appears to be one person running like this.
Jesus Christ! How can we see him? Is he huge?
Luggage got a 21.
Oh my God!
22. Sorry.
His personality is huge.
I may not be able to target very well when I'm falling.
He's up.
But I can see that motherfucker over there.
Yeah. He's running like I would if I had emotions.
I think he's going to attack them.
luggage smashes in the ground. The 3 wizards you land in front of all get blown back and fall over. And they appear to have gone, ah! As they've hurt themselves, and the rest of the wizards all turn and look at you.
Just say hi.
I like to think just after you hear tinkle, 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 it's just me dropping stuff right where you were.
As a question, do they get anything while it's flying back around?
Hello,
on its way out?
Yes, the airship will get one more attack if they want to.
Cool.
Because that would probably happen.
Actually, you would have 2 attacks if you want to attack the wizards.
Sick him, boy.
Yep.
Okay.
Chuck the stuff on them.
One as I'm flying, one as I land.
And 2 from the ballista.
11.
So, plus 8 for your...
Okay, so first we'll go for the 2 shots.
10 and a 24.
1 hits.
24.
Yep.
Is that right? Yep.
And then we'll go for 2 ballistas.
I don't know this bonus.
Both miss.
What is your...
Roll 1 damage, and it's lightning, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we'll go for the... I should have said before, my bad. I'll just go for the middle one. 3 for the lightning damage, and the total damage on the one of them will be 14.
Okay. Cool. You fire a shot at one of the ones furthest away that hits the dude, and he goes, ah, and there appears to be a spark of lightning that hits the dude next to him. He goes,
Oh, you didn't like that.
And are you doing anything from the air, or?
I did 11 points of damage by shoving stuff.
Oh, shoveling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dex save to see if they dodge out of that.
So they are lined up. Are you aiming for the group closest to you?
Yeah.
Aim for the ones that fall on the ground.
Okay. So
They want to fall on the ground.
Get one right in the dick with an arrow.
What if it lands on the people who are feather falling?
So it was 14.
It didn't.
11.
Okay, it didn't.
I just like pray to my god. Only dick shots. Only dick shots. My god comes out and just pushes it. Just grab it to the right place.
As you're falling and you've shoveled this one move,
Tentacles out of the
luggage
way.
who's falling as well sort of notices these things fly past him. And go,
The fuck is this?
They shouldn't be able to fly past me.
they fly faster
Don't
than you
remember
do.
arrowheads being mentioned in the weather for this week.
Because they're enchanted.
Yes.
I was about to say, they can't. I'm heavier than them.
No, they're
That's
more
not how gravity
they're
works.
aerodynamic, which is why it only takes 1 round for them to fall out of the boat.
The heavier the thing, the faster it reaches terminal velocity.
Unless they're
It all
magically
gets
enchanted.
to a max speed, but the heavier thing gets there first.
But you have more wind resistance.
Oh, no, if I'm doing this, perfect.
So luggage crashes
We'll
ground.
take it to Mythbusters, alright?
Hey, I'll make them a warforged.
Yeah.
Let's see which one falls faster. You have to make the magic arrow.
Damn, I got the hard part.
Come on, make them make it.
Yeah.
That's the point of Mythbusters.
Are they
We
even
need
a thing
mythical
anymore?
busters.
No, Adam Savage has tested now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but like
That's making him buckets of money.
Some interesting.
didn't one of them die?
No, it works for the army. The one with the mustache.
Oh no, I meant of the 3 random gets.
No, they're all fine.
Sure, something happened.
One got pregnant.
Oh yeah.
Right.
The Asian guy works for
I have stuff
the
on
company
that.
that I buy some stuff from.
Oh, sure.
Element 14.
So
The electronics website.
you're on the
14.
ground. So we'll restart combat order. So airship moves this way. Fitz can no longer make combat moves, so Fitz is technically out of this order, and so is Johnny.
Yeah.
So combat consists of luggage, Drew.
I mean, you're welcome to just cast a random spell for wild magic.
Oh, sure. Let's do that.
Luggage, Drew, and 4 months.
Yeah, no, Mythbuster died.
Oh, which one?
The chick.
What?
Just
the
your
random
cones.
one?
Not the redhead one.
No,
Alan
the
had a
random.
kid.
No, the random blonde chick.
Oh, that
Oh,
one,
no.
yeah.
Oh, let's see it.
I forgot about him.
Not sure why we're talking about Mythbusters, but okay.
Because
We're talking about mythical busters.
We're trying to figure out which would land first. Warforge the luggage. Luggage the Warforge, sorry, or a magic arrow. And I have to create Warforge. Me, and he has to create a magic arrow for Mythbusters to do.
Okay, so
Okay.
I need to roll that one and
It's
that
very
one.
simple.
I need to be below 50 because I didn't make 100.
It just means
Okay.
that everything's...
Cool, 14.
In one of them Mythbusters.
It's yeah.
What did you cast?
We need a life
Doesn't
subject
matter.
to test this in
It's the only way.
All animals dislike me. I see a bird giving me the evil eye.
You didn't see them before, but now there is a seagull following you.
Oh no!
See, now if I was there, I could communicate with them and find out exactly why.
It's now
I called his mother a swan.
It's now picking at the balloon.
Oh no!
As 24 hours as well.
Gotta take it down.
Fuck, I hope I don't get the rat one. It's gonna push me off the ship.
Wait, what?
This one that a rat must be summoned to control me. Ratatouille style.
Landing time.
So luggage, you get 1 round of being on the ground to fight, and Drew and party can do something from the air as well, but you're considered 60 feet away if you're making the move. You're in the air.
60 feet away.
Yeah.
Firebolt! Whatever I can fucking firebolt.
As a note, can't you use Eldritch Blast as well? Which could mean
Why the fuck would I use Eldritch Blast when I get more damage out of my bolt?
they're the same, aren't they? D10.
Not what I add as a bonus to them.
You don't add a bonus to Firebolt.
Well, in that case, they're much the same.
Unless
They're
you-
literally identical and it doesn't
except
matter.
You can do 2d10, 1 to that and 1 to that.
Does it stack per highest level or per warlock level?
The highest level. It's the cantrips are per level. Just
Yeah.
what level.
So
you are.
Firebolt
I'm
would-
level 1.
Yeah,
warlock.
they're 2d10. Yes, but your total of level 6, which
Yeah.
means it's 2d10 for both of them. The one difference between Firebolt and Eldritch Blast is you can split it between.
I
two.
would like to firebolt the closest one.
Cool.
Just assume you haven't gotten Agonizing Blast or any of that yet.
No.
No, I haven't. Mind being business. Probably missed.
Also, you would have disadvantage if you were firing Eldritch Blast because you've got shield mode.
Yes. Also, my bonus attack is better for my bolt, which gives me a 16.
Hit?
Yep.
Yep. You hit the dude. All damage.
Yeah. 2d10.
What's that?
I just count that as a 4, wouldn't I?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
So
I'm like,
it's
what?
not
Oh,
45.
that's confusing.
It's 9.
9.
9 for you.
If only.
You fire firebolt shot that goes and hits one of the dudes who was lying on the ground as he's in the middle of getting up.
Which would mean that it wouldn't be at disadvantage because he was on the ground prone. But anyway.
In the middle of getting up.
Yeah.
He would have taken a round to get up.
Fine.
It wasn't
Luggage, you get a move.
So for my bonus, I will attune to the fire now. Because I've been seeing fire spells being cast, so I don't want to get hurt as badly. As my move, so there was a line of them, you said?
Yeah, they're basically lined up. They U-shaped it so that they're all standing next to each other to shoot the wall.
Taking, like,
And you've landed near the group of them, so they're all basically in line with each other at you.
Perfect.
They've like done this to you.
Perfect. How far away from me are they? Feet-wise?
They are about 15 feet in between each of them. So
Reasonably spread out.
Yeah.
But distance from me, if it's 15 feet in a U shape, they're from each other, how far away from me are they?
Okay.
I know what math that is, I just can't figure it out.
Luggage. I'll just use these guys.
15 feet. They could still be this
Yeah,
far
it could be a
away.
huge radius.
First 2 wizards that you've fallen over there. There's a wizard.
Oh, so it's not a U shape.
What was it usually?
No, it was a line. That's what I was wondering about.
Oh,
line
it's a
U shape.
wide U
Yeah.
shape.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking U is that?
Because I was going to say, if it's a U shape around me, I could literally do a fireball
Yeah,
myself and kill
No,
them.
you didn't land in the middle of them. You landed on the edge.
Cool.
You're on the tip
so
of the U.
this dude's down, this dude's down?
These dudes. Yeah,
Would
these
be
two
the ones
are
that would be prone.
I'm short too. There's one more here. There you go.
How did she die?
Just car crash.
Oh, Jesus, that's terrible.
Especially seeing as she's a race car driver.
Oh.
Yeah, it's quite upsetting.
Point of reference.
Thank you. Just to, because that U versus straight line was confusing. I will take my movement to go towards the
Just to make it extra heartbreaking.
dudes that are
Oh, crap.
knocked down.
Okay.
Put 'em
So
up
that's 5.
up there, yeah.
That
And
would
then
be
there's
a hell of a
fire.
crash.
There's 15 between these two and these two.
Consider each of these to be 10.
So
In terms of spacing, it'll be easier.
So 10 to there. So it's about 10 feet there, 10 feet there, and I'm in front of that dude. Yeah,
Yep.
So I can't hit those dudes, but I generally have them close enough. Alright, and then I will just whack him for now.
Go.
I won't unleash ultimate fury just yet. I have plans for all of that stuff. That is a 16.
That'll hit.
And then it is a plus 6, yes. Yeah, 11.
Damage.
11 damage. Wood. Zip.
Cool.
This mace hammer thing just whacks, crunches down on one of them. It technically should have been at advantage, shouldn't it? Just to make sure it wasn't correct. No, it's the exact same roll. 3.
That's your move.
That's my turn complete. Only thing left is reaction.
He gets up, fires shot at Drew, and misses. And then
Because I have an armor class 2 right now.
miss from these guys firing at you.
Oh, they're not good.
This guy here fires a firebolt at you with a 19 to hit.
That does hit. 19 is my armor class.
And that was before I added this modifier as well.
Ouch.
Well, that just tells me a lot of them either just failed all their rolls.
Or he just extreme succeeded.
14 damage.
14.
But you were on fire resistor mode, so it'll be half, 77. This guy. These two here already fired it through. The guy in front of you.
One guy is never enough for you.
I need to double check the stats on this
I
spell.
have to be in the middle of combat, otherwise all my little friends get hurt.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Combat, wink, wink.
That's why you're on a ship in the middle of nowhere. You're away from the combat right now.
I'm still shoveling over citizens.
I need luggage to make a dex save.
Dex.
Okay.
No.
Cool. The wizard in front of you claps his hands together and they start glowing red and he goes and this cone of fire just goes at you. Which you'll take half damage to because of resistance anyway.
Thirsty.
12 damage, which is half down to 6.
Thirsty.
Maximum range of Thunder Cannon, do you know what it is?
300.
500.
Jesus Christ.
So if you're over half, it is disadvantage. Or is it over your range? You might want to search that.
Its normal range is 150.
You think you'll find it's up to 150 is not disadvantage. Past 150
Drinking
is
a potion and
up to your
action or
maximum
bonus
range.
Bonus if you've got them.
If I remember.
I consider them bonus actions. Some people say they're actions, but
It's not a...
I would argue you could swing a sword and drink something at the same time.
yeah, that's my logic
Yeah.
behind it.
You could equip a sword, swing it, and drink it.
I would argue it's an action to actively look through gear to grab something.
I've known DMs to actually make speaking an action or a bonus action.
Within the rules, it actually says that you have space to, like, you have time to say a sentence or two.
You should ask if that DM's able to walk and talk at the same time.
Walk, talk,
We
and
did.
swing it sword.
And then we laughed and said, "Oh no, you're not. Never mind then. Okay."
Turn number.
Yeah, that didn't last.
So it would be the entourages go. One who's the only one of the group who can actually do something will miss. The rest of the group sort of wait as they slowly float to the ground. So it's Luggage's turn.
Do I get a turn to shoot?
You guys as an airship.
I just moved it for you.
Oh, you just moved it there?
Yeah.
Cool. These guys will be here
Here.
and here.
I figured that was about.
I mean, that is about 500.
Can we shoot the cannon?
No.
Get you behind the cannon.
The cannons aren't loaded yet.
Still?
And again, they fire sideways.
What's Billy Bob
They're
doing?
meant to go at ships.
Shagging his cousin.
So I will, having seen all this, like,
That's why
You've got another 6 rounds before they're completely ready to be used. You've told someone we've got to get these ready, and so they're running around. Like, essentially, it's taking them 2 minutes to get the entire ship ready, which is really quick. I'm being lenient.
Not quick enough.
But before we took off, shouldn't they have had that ready?
No.
No, so
They
that's
weren't-
why I'm angry.
Right?
They weren't preparing for aerial combat. They were preparing to fire downwards from the air. Cannons that sit sideways are pointless.
I mean, that's
Because they don't want to risk shooting them randomly into the city somewhere.
Bonus action.
They only fly about 20-30 feet out from the ship and then drop. So if they're in the middle of the city, they fire it, it's going to fall somewhere in the city.
So when we were sitting here, butts hanging off,
That's when they were getting loaded.
and then we took them away before they got a chance to actually do anything.
No, they haven't actually finished loading them.
They had also fired a couple of shots from
They were using the
harpoon
guns.
I will do a 30-foot line jet of air straight across my left towards just across the three of them. 15 feet between each of them, yeah?
Yeah.
30-foot line, 1, 2, 3.
So 30 foot, so these three?
Yep.
What's the
strength?
Blinking at some
As a side note, 2 bonus action to Ogre Fall.
the highest was 12.
12, they will all fail.
You
Go.
get there, you get there, and you blink, and then
That is
Oh,
40
sweet. There we
rolls.
go. I've had a few days but like that. Okay, didn't I just get in? I just did the bacon. What's going on? Why am I packing it all up?
15, 21, and that is bludgeoning. And
Does it carry over to each of them?
Yeah, 21 to all. And they are all knocked prone.
So it was 3, 4, and 5. Cool.
No, 21 each.
No, the ones who are being hit.
Oh,
You're hitting 3,
numbers,
4, and 5.
right,
I
yeah,
need to keep track of them,
characters,
otherwise
yeah,
they
yeah.
will be immortal.
I know what you're saying. Realise what you're saying now. It's just my brain was thought you were trying to divide the damage between like 3, 4, and 5. What? Math doesn't work, but also it's 21 each. Cool.
So, prone. Drew, you are now on ground level.
Huzzah! But where exactly am I?
You, Bark, and Entourage.
You land on some arrowheads.
You're like,
I'm gonna use this guy.
They smell rotten.
There is one cattle drop and a couple of arrows. What are you doing?
I'm also much bigger than I usually look.
I'll say.
Ogre. That's the
oh,
bonus.
so like Rexy from Jurassic Park, constantly changing.
Sure. Except this is the first time you've ever seen me grow to this size before.
You're just like,
I'm impressed.
You look ready for combat.
Am I shorter than I was? What's going on?
You hit the ground and got bigger instead of smaller.
At the closest thing.
Okay, so let's do.
Or, well, yeah, I guess both, actually, yeah. Yeah, screw it.
Bang him.
Yeah, why not?
Roll a hit.
13.
Plus anything?
Plus 7 plus 6, right?
Yeah.
13.
Yeah. No.
Oh no, they're in range. Ranged gets disadvantaged.
Not
To hit
120
prone.
feet.
Oh, Jesus. To hit prone.
It's even higher now.
Disadvantage.
Oh, right.
Now put a really heavy one on top.
Cool. So,
too high.
Oh, right after I miss, I'm like, fucking down a potion. Down my boldness. Boldness.
That does stuff.
Yeah.
They're actually really
Steal on
nice.
jelly beans.
Adds a
They're good.
D.
can
Can
eat
I have that fucking pencil back?
It's not right in front of you.
Yeah, that's really fucking effective.
The fighter here guy pulls out his bow and fires and it misses. The wizard does the same thing as Drew and fires a firebolt at same guy and misses. The goblin runs up to the same guy
Eat some jelly
and
beans.
in goblin screams, "You're very, very ugly, I don't like you." Smacks the dude on the head, or closest to him hitting it, and his entire club explodes. And this guy falls down dead.
Good boy.
Does he have an exploding club?
And he stands there holding the club. And Goblin starts sort of apologising to it.
That's awesome.
What are you looking for?
The artificial
And
thing that
as
has
he
my potions
apologises
in
to it, the club slowly starts to reform.
Oh.
Didn't you write it down?
Now it's the wizard's turn.
No, I did not write it all
Said
fucking
why?
down. Because I'm not writing all of that down. Jackass.
This is why you can use the character sheet so you don't have to worry about it.
This is why I use wild magic, so I don't know what's going to happen.
My brain keeps on getting weirded out by the fact that I'm facing mages, but they're in plate armor and shields and shit.
It's very
You have too
heavy
much
robes.
shit open up on your fucking brain.
Well, I mean, I'm a spellcaster and I'm in plate.
Yeah.
It's breastplate, but plate. I can technically
Okay,
walk up.
does 17 hit you?
Does mithril count as light armor?
Light.
That potion lasts for a minute.
There isn't light.
Okay. So all these
sorry,
guys,
light,
all
medium, heavy, and what is it? Chain?
all
did you say?
turn to luggage and all fire firebolts at
Chain.
him.
I guess so. But it's mithril.
These guys get back up.
It's
Needs to be
mithril
light.
certain things.
Except for the
Mithril
guy in
plate,
front of
mithril
luggage.
Chain, mithril rock.
But mithrils in general need to be lighter, isn't
It removes the disadvantage from
The guy in front of you freaks out and goes, "Duh!" and 3 bolts just go and hit you.
Magic missile.
Yeah.
Does it not have
I think I got the last one.
Magic missile? No, auto hits.
Thank you. I think that's one
That's
of
right, the one useful spell that they have.
11 damage.
Yeah, Evan, there goes the bonus that I just got for myself.
Cool. We'll go to the top of the round. Airship is now here. And I need to double check. I need a perception from both Johnny and Fitz.
I do something.
What's that?
We're looking for
Never mind.
He does nothing.
What were you trying to do?
Perception.
6 plus 2.
Yeah, maybe. It's not great.
I know you're plus 3.
But do we add on, if he's using binoculars, do we add on
He's
like,
not
don't
using
have
binoculars.
advantage?
Those were a minor
Are you
illusion.
are
Let's be honest.
are you above 10 with either of your rolls?
I haven't rolled.
He won't be because it was a 6, right? So no.
What the
Yeah, so
Go
No.
again. Go again. That's a bit better. Second roll, 20.
What happens there is I minor illusion my binoculars. You push me out of the way after you fail and then use them. It's like a placebo, you do better.
Okay. The group coming from here are all humans. And the group from down here are cyborg zombies mixed in with a bunch of
I'm
humans.
definitely throwing a fucking grenade at him.
And what looks like some sort of elemental.
What?
Elemental.
It's exactly how I answer it.
What?
What?
I'm just gonna.
Elemental, my dear.
I'm going to throw at just a random group of the cyborgs, not the elemental though. And then I'll use my turret to fire at the elemental.
I have an idea after that.
Cool. To save, I need damage from the grenade. So 5d6.
One second, sorry. Concentration checks.
Yes.
How do they work?
If you take damage, then you have to roll a concentration, and it's either 10 or half the total damage done to you.
Miss
You
my
roll this high.
blank.
Oh.
And you dealt 11 damage.
I didn't have it
which
before,
means the
so-
higher would be 10.
Oh.
Yeah. So you've got to roll 10 or higher to stay concentrating on
I
something.
wonder if it's one of the
might be
ones that
my
end up
fault.
at ours.
Okay. It's a concentration. I just realised I got hit by something and I probably should have checked.
12.
Oh, I see. Right now.
15.
15 damage.
Let's throw a grenade, and then I'll try and hit the
I was just
elemental
wondering,
with a
could we
force.
MacGyver a cannon, like shove it with cannonballs, somehow close the end, launch it and push it off like a giant bomb?
16 on the force turret.
You know when cannons backfire?
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, there's not much point. You don't get enough
The
exposure.
cannon fires and misses the elemental.
And
The grenade
things
lands
can be
into the
trying
group of
to
goblins and explodes.
So the push-
They all kind of like fall over
you
and
would
start
have to,
getting up
well,
again.
you would have to pre-prepare this and you would have to melt it.
Yeah,
Pop
sure.
it.
And then what about
But
Kevin?
you could do something like that.
If you tell him to, Kevin will make a shot.
Yep.
What do you want him to target?
Just
Anything?
anything.
Did you?
Kevin pulls the trigger on his gun and the barrel explodes. And he falls back.
Oh.
He rolled a 1.
Mm.
Oh.
He no longer has.
Get
a
him
gun.
behind a cannon.
Well,
They're
we're just gonna
almost
give him
ready.
a. I'll just give him a grenade and chuck him off the edge, I guess.
You've outlived your usefulness.
It's the gun you gave him.
You just look at him, you gotta pay for that.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that.
He just jumps off.
Based off your roll, you also notice that there are tabaxians that are hanging around down there as this explosion goes off. They all kind of look around like crazy and start bolting in the direction to the entrance.
For a second, I thought you were going to be like, now they're trying to mug the.
Is that street performance
That's
of
what he
Pest?
said. Go into the door.
Give me
What do
your
you think they're
weapons.
thinking?
Give me your weapons.
So they're currently running here where there appears to be a locked gate. I'm just putting it out there.
They could have climbed over the wall.
Bit of flavour for everything.
Yeah. It's just flavour, you don't have to worry about them.
There's a war going on, guys.
I don't care about them, they mugged me.
Is there anyone on the ship
Look
who's
at them
strong enough to
protecting their
lift the
town,
cannon?
their
Yes.
city.
Roy,
Just wait
I told
until
you.
they-
If
Roy,
you want
the
anyone
gold
to do anything if I'm not there, ask
So
Roy.
are you.
Roy is your second muscle man on the ship.
It's okay to loot, you know.
No, he's the first now.
They might get ruler.
Well, he's the first mate.
And he's also the first
My
muscle.
first mate. As like my hat reappears.
I thought I was your first friend.
Like a giraffe.
So I'm slightly injured.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making much. I think I can take myself another turn for this. Everyone's back up again. I have 30-foot radius. So radius diameter. Radius is half diameter is 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. just realised they're gonna have to do like a massive cleanup back there, right? Because like horses and animals, and people who just walk and stroll around there, are just gonna step on.
Dude, it's gotta be like Vietnam out there.
Yeah.
They're still clearing mines. That's not even a joke. It's awful.
Can I get?
I'm a mass murderer.
Still fighting the Korean.
Yep, you're up next as well, by the way.
The same
Sweet.
three
Oh,
dudes,
you
a
fucked
dex,
up.
sorry, a con save.
$15, 10, and 1.
Yes. So the.
Where's that one? Oh, this way.
7d6 and knocked prone. 7d6 fire as a note and knocked prone, or half and knocked. So the two that were low, this full and knocked prone. The other not knocked prone, but half the damage. I need 6s. Lots of them. Maker's got pretty much all of them. I'll take it. Yes. Oh, okay, good enough.
Not that many then.
Right?
I have one.
Advertising.
Right.
Cuckold.
I need many.
What's this for?
Fireballs of my own. I'm murdering things.
He opens all of his nipple plates. Little fireballs start shooting out.
Gallagher.
Yeah.
That's 16. That's 22. Am I right? No.
Is it total or is it shared?
It's total. Like this is fireball. So they each take this damage. The one that saved gets half this damage. So
Now, is this literally a fireball as it explodes, or...?
yeah, it's a foot.
Okay, cool.
20-foot radius. 12 and 10 is 22, 26, 26 and 30 is going to explode. Damn it, the rest of them are too far away.
I'm melting.
They
Oh,
explode.
what a world!
They're
What a
lying
world!
there. Drew, you're up.
Turns out they're kids on each other's shoulders.
I would have noticed because I knocked them prone before, so they would have.
Character
I would have like
Jack
split their
Horseman.
shit.
I'll need my d6s.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I need the bad guys.
The heavy
Alright,
roll.
just whatever's closest to me, really.
The one in front of luggage.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh no! Oh well. What is that? Is that 13 plus 3, 16 plus 6? Yeah, I definitely
Yep, that'll hit.
snap
22.
the fuck out of it.
Plus 6, did you say? 22.
13. Wait.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a fireball. Yeah, you go fire a fireball at it, and it hits the sky, and he goes, "Argh!" and kind of his sort of coat sort of burns a little.
Carried out behind the shield.
You went, this guy?
Ah.
I know what you're doing, like, that's why my face went,
Luggage is dead. It's
That's
okay.
why he was upset.
The goblin runs in, swings at him and misses. As
Swing and miss.
as his club comes back into sort of consciousness and just exists again, he goes for another swing, and it hasn't quite fully formed at the end, so it misses him and then it reforms at the end. And he starts
No,
apologizing
it's
to
like
the
this
club
one
again.
little bit that's just like super kind of cowlick compared to the rest.
If you speak
There we
goblin,
go.
you can hear him saying something very sweet in goblin, which is very
Don't
odd
mind,
for a
I'm just
goblin.
mothering you.
It's his dead family.
these
in
are,
the
these are
club.
very unused words I'm
Orchestra.
hearing.
Yeah. These are words you've heard Drew use.
Very rarely,
Very-
especially with
no,
the
no.
fact that I piss him off a lot.
You've heard these words being uttered by Drew for books and things like that. You've never heard a goblin referring to it as a club.
Yeah, nice words rather than rude words from Goblin. Very rare to hear.
And the wizard and the other fighter pull out a bow and shoot and fire and both miss.
We don't have very many nice words to say, so. A
I
lot of
am-
words for food.
You can only say fuck
After-
boy so many
As I
times.
watch all of them pretty much fail, except the goblin has actually knocked something out right now, I kind of look over towards these dudes that were mocking me and making fun of me. And
The
making me
the
levitate.
wizard and the fighter who have fired at the dudes you just exploded.
It's giving me anxiety.
So they've fired.
Even more so.
No, they've fired as if like you've fired and they've been in the middle of shooting them. They just didn't hit anything.
Why attack the thing I just killed, dude? Shut it down.
Don't fucking do it. Oh my god, I took my hands off. I was very softly moving it.
Stop
Airship.
it!
Airship.
Mikey.
I will destroy any sandcastles you make in the future if you pull that.
Alright,
Then you'll be upsetting our kids because that's the
I
only
have
reason I
4 wizards to...
I feel like you would make a sound.
It's alright, me and the kids will destroy it with you.
Yeah, I feel like you would make one to prove that you're better at it. One day you'll be as good as me.
I won't do it to prove that I'm better than them, but while I'm making it with them, I'll show that I can make it better than them. Yeah. That's not the reason why I'll do it though. I'll be making sandcastles.
The goal of any father to demean their child.
I have to like balance out their freaking trauma.
Does 21 hit you?
Ooh, yeah, that does.
Ending with a boosted AC.
Yeah, I'm gonna get 19.
Okay.
My charisma's only +2. But hey, that's something. Definitely not gonna frown about that.
Was this the dude in front of me or one of the dudes to the left?
Dude
One of them.
over there
Yeah, cool.
fires at Drew. It hits Drew. 10 damage.
I mean, it could go one higher.
I assume fire.
Yeah.
I'm autistic.
And the other 3 will fire at you.
I kind of
Miss.
grimace and
Think.
Airship, what's your move?
Mikey, what you doing?
Oh.
Are you jumping it?
Can I hit anyone with throwing stuff off? Or are the cannons ready?
The cannons have...
It is glorious. You are correct.
3 more rounds.
Glorious.
Alright.
Yes, it's glorious.
Okay, yeah, anyways.
Jenga.
Am I close by enough to throw stuff off the ship, like I've been doing? Or should I just do cause chaos?
What would that feature?
Cause chaos! You just lose all of the odds.
If you want the airship to be above them, you can have you can have it move above them, and you can shovel.
I will continue to do that until you either don't have enough or feel like you're not doing enough.
Fine.
Whatever. I'll go with that.
You're Professor
You know,
Oak in
if
my
you-
head.
Oh,
It is
you
not
could
the
add a
time
+4
for
to
that.
No, to
you
be
drop
honest,
that
that is the
for a
point.
potion,
You
you could
have
add a +4
you
to
just
that
spent
for a
all this
whole
money and
minute.
time getting this line ready. You might as well use it.
True. Alright, so I'll throw some shit.
Or if you feel
Yeah,
like
take
it's
a bonus
not
turn.
being effective,
We'll take a bonus turn. So it'll be a case of trying
5.
to get like before you're maybe
It
gonna
might
come
be
down to ground.
Somebody stubs their toe.
Maybe I'll take that back.
Or next move. Yeah, maybe take
So
that
what
one
was the
back.
total?
Drop
5.
5 damage? Cool.
Potion of boldness.
And add a +4 to these rolls. Or a D4 to this roll.
Can I get anyone else to shovel with me?
Oh,
To
right,
get more
you're going-
throws?
gain or advantage or whatever.
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
How
use the
many people?
potion.
You can get 3
It's
more
10
free
minutes.
people.
Cool.
No,
I'll
it's
3
not,
more
it's 10
people
minutes.
doing it.
A minute. Okay, it's 10
It's like
minutes.
10. Yeah,
So-
it's
Yeah, I was gonna say it's still fucking.
They mark off 3 more from your
Do
total.
I have to roll
Yeah,
for
so
it?
that'll
Oh,
make
I just add.
No, so literally any 2-hit roll or save roll, you add a D4 to it.
Includes me. Alright, so then I get 3 more.
Those are your
rolls.
potions. 4.
I'm telling him he should totally take it.
9.
So if I'm using that,
So now he's got it actively.
I mean,
For a
it
minute.
probably would have hit
16.
anyway. But
23.
Yeah, that one would have hit anyway, but now for all your other ones in the future.
26 to
26.
hit the elemental.
That hits.
29.
You're so precious.
Hey, what was the type of damages anyway? Was it an ice one?
Yeah, there's one of the 4 bases.
What if it's an ice element?
You've
should be
you've
able to
got
see the element.
lightning, force, fire, and frost or cold.
And you should be. I assume he can see what elemental.
It's
is.
an earth elemental.
An earth. Just force would be.
More than enough.
Don't be asking me. I'm not there. I can't tell you these things.
What was the total
How
damage?
much does your
29.
character know? That's what you've got to remember.
Okay.
What do you think your character would do?
I don't
You
know.
shovel off a bunch of these, and you
Shall I
look
roll?
down to see what you've done. You
How much
notice
does he
a couple
roll?
of goblins
Roleplay so
fall.
well.
Yeah.
A couple of them get up.
I'm gonna firebolt
One of
the
them,
demon.
their arm starts sparking.
Oh, sweet. I'm going to cause a chain
I
reaction.
wouldn't know.
I cast darkness.
I'll just go with force.
Yep. Somebody's
It's
going to
just
explode down there in a minute.
It's an elemental. Salve plus.
It's like they've put a nuke around a bunch of mines. It's not an intelligent move.
It's so disappointing though, because it's like free dice, you know. It's
Like, have you seen that?
That's why I like to put 4 points into most of my spells because
What
it's
was-
4 high rolls.
Have you seen that military
12
clip where
damage.
there's two
Oh,
guys
good.
carrying a bomb and they tap? They're carrying it like over the shoulder and they tap ends. It's like really old footage.
Cool. You blast it, and you see part of its shoulder go off a bit, and it keeps moving forwards as this crew basically makes its way underneath the airship as well, and it's just
I don't
here.
like the way he's making it underneath us.
Luggage. You're up.
Dude's still in front of me. Dude's still in front of me.
Still dude in front of you.
You guys need to be taught how to hit people.
You've got your bros that are cracking you up.
That's a
so hard if you
22
miss.
to hit.
That'll hit.
Rolls 2.
I like your dice.
You like it?
I don't. That's a 9.
9 damage.
Wah.
How do you kill him?
Sorry.
In the same swinging motion that the goblin killed the other one, some form of just big, and as it's meant to shatter, I assume it will change instead.
Why don't you just go
What were you doing?
His club would have shattered.
Oh.
My mace will change. I assume.
Yes, it will. Yeah. As you come in with the hammer and just go and smack this dude, falls to the ground. You stand there, and it starts to morph.
Should have moved.
Do you get a choice in the weapon, or do I get to choose what it turns into?
I had thought a dice would have worked for it, but at the time, because we were going with quick, I said you choose whatever you wanted to, so I don't care. You decide.
Giant pink
If you want me to just
Really
roll it, I think there's
All pink and
10
veiny.
simple weapons I can choose from at the moment, so I could roll a d10 and pick from it, or
A short
you can
billy
pick.
club.
Simple weapons is
Cool. Your hammer slowly morphs and turns into
And there
an
was a
axe.
flood that came through.
Done.
After the flood.
You watch as his hammer turns into an axe.
Neat.
The flathead became a pointy
After
head.
the flood, one of our flatmates comes in and goes, I found something.
Group.
The flathead pointed into a pointy head.
Fire out whatever's closest.
So it'll be this dude here. 'Cause this dude's gone.
I give them a bit of a...
Ooh, I have a feeling I miss.
Oh, did you use my urine dice?
13?
Sorry.
I did. I'll never do that again.
It only works for me.
Yeah. Now I know.
Oh, by the way, once he's dead,
So yeah, he comes in.
I'm going to motor towards the
That's
other
what the
guys
dogs
because
have
I
been
now don't
chewing
have a
on.
target in front of me.
How far do you move?
Small.
It's 30, I don't
Stick.
get increased movement speed.
It's pink, and it's veiny. I'm just gonna leave just
The goblin
whoever it
runs
is,
behind
you know
you.
who you are, can come to.
He's about 10 feet away from you, so he's 10 feet away.
At the end of this.
Bark also runs behind you, and then
Probably
runs
Ticket
another
flame.
30 feet in front of you.
It's probably amateur hour
Charging
for
in.
some of the stuff
Action
I've
through,
seen.
yeah.
Yep. The fighter stands next to Drew and sort of puts the bow down and pulls out a sword in sort of more of a defensive stance, noticing
No one
that there's
came forward.
people around. And the
some
wizard
point it just randomly
turns,
disappeared.
runs 20 feet, fires a firebolt that flies in between you and Bark and hits
All
that.
pink and veiny. Last of
Like, have you seen the
Hits
clips of
that
people
dude,
pulling
or
dents
might
out of their
maybe
cows and
hits that
dildos?
Hits that.
Yay! And I actually do say that as I see it happen. Yay!
This guy turns here, and this guy turns and bolts this direction.
Columbians, they're like the small dogs too. They're like boots and
There are literally 10 weapons I
Okay.
Until I get my level, third level
Tiny
in artifice,
little
and then it becomes so much bigger. So that's when I get much.
I think the magical weapon wouldn't change which weapons it turns into, though. Cool. This dude here fires a firebolt that flies right at Bark, who's screaming. It hits him in the face, but doesn't appear to affect him.
It takes off his moustache.
This dude also fires a firebolt that goes in basically the reverse of between you and Bark, and gets about here and putters out. And this guy turns and just runs this way.
Coward! I turn to the goblin. That one's yours.
Airship.
Whoever could reach it first.
Airship.
I can smell that from
Airship.
Airship, what's your plan?
Not sure what I think of it.
Go again.
Shove, then shove.
So,
I'm
going
to
Alright, so how many people can I have shovel? Is it 4 including me?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm just gonna start doing that.
Okay.
Nice and easy.
So take each. So roll. You've got 4d4 there or 2.
2d4 and it's twice for 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's that total?
7.
Times that by 4.
28.
It'll be faster. 28. Cool. You shovel out a more.
I'll take that off.
You also hear the sound of an explosion as a couple of the cyborg zombie goblin things down there explode.
Another 4.
How tightly knit are they? Because that might do
They're
some
kind of
extra damage.
spouting out, but a lot of them are getting hit by things and dropping and not restarting and exploding.
Chain reaction.
A couple of them have blown each other up. Because 2 didn't survive the first blast through. Cool. And so now all that's left is 1 human, an elemental, and 4 goblins. Charging towards, ignoring your airship entirely, and running towards like the canal entrance area down here.
And I'm gonna throw a grenade at them, and my ballista misses him.
Okay.
Something's dead.
23.
It took me 4 guys to do similar damage.
I think you're out of bombs now, aren't you?
Yeah, that's the last one.
It's pretty much casting fireball.
Cool.
He spent his days crafting.
You.
I like to think you go downstairs, get some gunpowder barrel and my shrapnel and just push it off the edge.
It explodes. You hear the sound of screaming goblins below.
It's a sweet melody in your ears.
I feel a slight disturbance in the forest and then shake it off. Can't be anything important.
Genocide's alright.
I'm hoping when they get blown up, they sort of, move into. Is there a chance that they could hit into each other?
Some of them have hit into each other, but yeah. For intents and purposes, the only 2 things that are down there now is an earth elemental and a human.
Okay, nice.
Who are currently charging at a canal.
Pretty good.
He's
Surely
like
they could take that out, right?
It's going to become a mud if he goes in the canal.
Can I get the
The
30
stupid
feet
plan.
and be in
Come on, mate.
Too far away for that. I would say that's too far away from my.
Yes.
Oh wait, I have an extended reach. I have 10 foot, 15 foot reach rather than. So
Even with your extended reach, no, you're 20 feet away still.
cool. I will then use my action to heal myself.
Heal. Drew, what you doing? As a guy with a sword is standing next to you now, sort of looking around. Mainly looking in this direction like he spotted something running.
I'm sorry, which direction?
He's looking this way.
Ah.
Well, there goes all the damage I just took.
Oh. Move into more of the actual combat zone.
That's
Move around him if I have to. So I can get within
Yep.
sight. Thinking that's gonna somehow help me hit.
You're there. 30 would be there. Cool. What's your range on fireball?
It's like 120.
Okay, yeah, so you could get either of those 2.
Sweet.
Not that dude.
May as well just focus on what we're trying to kill that's right in front of us all.
Yep.
Shot! Fucking Christ on a fucking cracker. 9 times 6. Or plus 6.
15.
I hit.
Yeah, oh my god! Small victories.
Take them when you get them.
Story of my life. 7 damage.
Small victory.
Oh shit, I don't actually have anything to no.
Cool. Sorry, keeping track of help. This guy runs
For the record, I've got potions. Sorry if you need.
here. The goblin
1 hit point off full health running.
bolts this way. And starts running this way.
Sort of like 3 of them.
Bark runs 20 feet in and engages.
I can also use every single turn my bonus action if I use side points to heal that many HP. So
Chance to save your high side points.
Hmm.
High points.
Cool.
if I cast something with side points, I can.
Bark
save
and
bonus
this guy
action
both
heal
attack
that
the same dude at the same time. Bark swings down and the firebolt goes in and they both connect and just sort of explode at each other.
You got a gunblade.
This guy, looking at Bark, freaking out. I need 15 foot. That'd be cone. Yeah, luggage. You need to make a deck save.
That'll be a 6, so I will fail.
Cool. So both you and Bark take 13 damage as the sky fires a cone of fire at the two of you.
So 6. Round it up, round it down.
Yeah.
5.
6.
Round it down. I know what I'm saying with my short sentence words.
I knew what he was saying. Apparently, the dice are getting attached to my hand.
You just want to be rolled.
This guy turns back at Luggage's insult and goes, and then turns and runs. Luggage then takes.
Goes like this with his dimension.
Hey, wait a
42
minute.
damage.
42 damage from 3d4.
He's right, it is 42 damage.
4d2. So, flip a coin 4 times.
It's 7 damage.
Correct.
As these magic missiles just fly in no particular way and then just all pinpoint onto you.
And then he runs again.
Yeah, then he
I'm like, pretty.
pins and runs. Clearly he wasn't expecting to have to face something this quickly. This guy, who's
I'm amazing. You've never
the fighter who's here,
You're also behind.
goes, "There's something coming!" Pointing out. Airship.
Oh, that's that thing that was running.
Yeah.
This is when we put Sky on the board.
Yep. Airship, what's your move?
The entire city is wiped out.
Going for the earth elemental.
One kitty swipe.
I should probably roll. I have to roll 2 of these as well.
Trust the big
What
one.
even is set?
One's a 4 and one's a whatever the hell that is.
2.
Thank you.
2. And what was the other? 4.
4.
4 and a 2.
4.
6.
Oh, they both
So
hit
just
anyway.
double that instead.
So there'll be 20 for one
Rolling Vegas
and
dice, you're like
28 for
mine now.
another. So both on the earth elemental. So I'll go with the first one.
Do you read
the
that one?
force. Oh, I could probably add them all
God, that's
together.
confusing.
So that's 4, that's 4.
I think it's
Thank you, boss.
He moves.
2
D8. What's 4 plus 4?
8.
What's 8 plus 3?
11.
Times by 4?
with a 5-foot push.
That's 1
44.
So
44 shoveling.
Math? What math?
Not 4d4, but.
So the
yes,
turret
that's
alone does 14 with a 5-foot pushback.
Cool.
And
It's kind of irrelevant in this situation, but yeah.
7.
Yeah,
Is that part of it?
I wish.
Plus.
Well, it's easy to go for that 12.
So what's the damage?
5 plus. Yeah, 12.
12.
So total, yeah, 26 damage. What does the force do as well? Is it just force?
Force damage. It's one
No
of the
pushback?
least resisted damages,
Mm.
excluding psychic.
Cool. You look as you're shooting at this thing. A good chunk of it is blasted off. Suddenly, a aerial of just arrowheads and a couple of cattle trops and a spoon. Just because I've decided to add a spoon into it. There's only 2 guys, not 4.
I'm sure you threw a spoon in there at the start.
Yeah, I did. There's at least 1 or 2 in there.
You watch as this aerial barrage. How much damage was it?
44.
44. As this aerial barrage just collapses down on top of this earth thing that you've been shooting at. You look at it as a couple of its armor sort of bits seem to fly off, and then it's just smothered in arrows, and it just sort of crumbles down.
It's the strongest I've ever been.
No,
The human standing back
Really good.
has a
Oh, yeah,
couple.
that's true.
He sort of holds his hand like this as a couple of them sort of land on him, And he kind of goes, looks at the earth elemental and goes, turns and starts running away.
Did you say 44? How did you manage that?
Because he had 4 people helping him dig.
I worked well as a collaborative.
He likes having minions under him.
I'm the featured artist.
Luggage.
I can now. It was 20 feet. You said between the two of us.
Yep.
I will close that distance, and then I will have the guy running away from me. How far away is he?
That guy?
Yeah.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 feet.
Yep. He will
Nice
take a
transfer
Constitution
of
save.
22.
Where he's coming from?
He will pass his Constitution save. He will only take half damage. If I'm correct. Half as much in difficulty.
So take all your little fucking mess with your feet
And 11 is 19, 19 halved is what? 9? Yeah, 9. 9 for you.
Cool. Drew.
Whatever I can see. $15 and then plus. So yeah, probably hit him.
15 is their ACs.
Sweet. Eight.
Ooh.
Who are you hitting?
I guess that guy
closest
probably,
guy?
yeah.
Okay.
Can I call out to the scaredy cat, by the way, if you surrender, I will give you mercy?
The Mr. Miyagi guy.
Does that burn him? Yeah, Mr. Miyagi guy. He's a coward, though, because he's running away.
Yeah, that's
Strategic retreat.
Pretty common with these guys, I've noticed.
You'll notice he's not actually retreating, but in terms of this map, he's actually curving around and following the other group that Fitz had seen
These
run that
guys.
way.
Turns out these are just tourists, and the actual army we're meant to face is beyond.
They were actually just firing off fireworks
They
to
are
celebrate
the summer
entering.
rush.
The fact that they've actively attacked
You know
you
what,
probably
though?
says no.
Screw it. Kill him anyway.
we attacked
There's a
first.
massive illusion, like right under the ship, that makes them look bad.
We did deal damage to them first, technically.
Yeah.
Excluding the fireballs and stuff they were doing in the first place, we did deal the first bit of damage.
And if we're in the States, somebody's holding a gun.
Airship.
Accurate. It's very
Are there still people
scalpely.
under us?
Can you hit from there?
Yeah, we'll just
Are you
fuck that
aiming
in
at the
there.
human who's turning running?
Is
There's
he
only-
shooting at
The humans?
The human.
Okay.
rolling.
He's like, I'm just rolling now.
Somebody's in my
I
sights.
don't even know why I added that there. It would have hit anyway. It knocked it out. It was 18.
Yep.
I don't even know why I'm rolling these dice. What's happening? I heard the word airship, and I know I have to roll when that happens.
Damage. Let's go for this guy.
Yep.
He heard airship, so he just started rolling.
I'm killing something. Damage now. Oh, that's not too bad. 7 plus 4
I
is
honestly
11.
thought we killed us
Yeah,
under us.
16, yeah,
If it's
16.
just point my
Cool.
Second.
You see this dude running and go. Guy falls down.
Sweet.
Where is he
Now we
going?
killed the guy who was running away.
Now, fuck charge.
Feel real good about ourselves. Let's
There
fly
is-
to Skeletor over there.
There is still a horde of humans who are currently
Skeletor over there.
running and engaging over there.
I see their group name. They message me.
You see
So-
one dude in the front.
Airship
is
can
with
move
a
above
green
them
graphic.
there. If you want to do one of your aerial bombardments of them, you can.
I will do that.
Can I attune
Oh,
to
44.
the, Can I attune to the airship right now?
Can you attune to the airship?
Take full control of it.
7 and 5 is
12.
times
Nah.
4.
50.
46.
Damn it. No, that's also wrong. 48.
There you go. He got 11 last time. It's one more than that. It's another 4 more. Don't know. I mean, I remembered that though.
And I I work with numbers.
So I work with taxes, numbers, percentages, all of it. Yeah, 48 this time instead of 44.
Gross ratios. The most unsexy number.
Yes, and gross numbers too.
Right.
Net and gross numbers, yeah.
I do too, and I'm not good at it.
It's easy.
That's why I have an accountant.
That's why I have a calculator.
I do shape numbers, jeez.
Cool. Luggage, you're up. Bandits have an aerial attack on them.
Did he? Did I last
Engineers
round
need
call
to be
that out
good
there?
at math. It's a misconception.
Did he make any reaction, or shall I do it this round?
If you're actively yelling something at him to do something, you have to make a roll for him to be either persuaded by it or not.
Take my action to do something?
Yeah.
No. Still people trying to kill me in front of me. I will whack at the dude in front of me with my axe.
Roll the hits.
Scientists.
16.
Roll damage.
Prove me well.
9.
You stand and swipe at this guy, and as the axe hits the guy, it starts to stretch. And as you come back through, you are now wielding a sword.
Bettering existence.
As this guy falls down. Maybe a short sword or a bastard sword.
Well, if it's by what I'm actually proficient in,
You automatically become proficient.
Okay, you're making it fancy.
According to your magical weapon.
My magical weapon changes into things that you are proficient in.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I was saying when I become an artificer level 3, I then become proficient in martial weapons.
Oh, okay.
So it would have to be a simple weapon at the moment.
I feel like I just become a mystic,
At level 1, you get access to 3 things, so you can have flying, air, and fire.
True, you're up as Luggage's axe morphs into a sword as he kills the dude in front of him.
Okay, so that guy's dead now?
Yep, that guy's dead.
Okay, I try and hit that guy. I mean, that's the point of battle, right? Yeah.
You have it.
Oh, wait.
Don't look at me, I can't read.
No, I missed. I got under 15.
Okay.
7, yeah.
7,
13.
7, 5,
where's Angry Goblin? And Angry Goblin's about there. Angry Goblin is currently chasing down the wizard.
Dagger?
Dagger?
There is no sword in simple melee weapons.
Really?
Club, dagger, great club, hand axe, javelin, light hammer, mace, quarterstaff, sickle, spear.
Sickle then.
Same damage as a dagger. Difference is it can't be thrown.
So,
Sickle.
Who knew? Swords aren't simple.
No, swords are martial weapons. Think what your general farmers would have would be simple weapons. Sticks.
Yeah, you want to list off some of those things?
Martial weapons or simple weapons?
The simple weapons that you think a farmer would have.
Club. Dagger.
Maybe.
Great club. A club is a stick.
No, a stick and a club are two very different things.
A heavy stick, basically, is
a shaped stick as well.
It's
a big branch.
D&D's logic of a club is basically a stick.
We're good. Keep
Great
going.
club. Big stick. Hand axe.
Pushing a little.
That's like a hatchet.
Great club, is it just a bigger branch?
Next.
Because hatchet doesn't mean you're javelin.
No.
Just a fallen log or something.
A farmer would not have a javelin.
Closest comparison would be an actual spear.
What if he was an ex-Olympian?
Hunting, fishing.
A pointed stick could be a spear.
It depends what the hunter specialises.
I mean, a pitchfork.
Light hammer, mace, quarterstaff.
Thrown as a spear.
Quarterstaff again, just a stick.
Get my pencil now.
A mace.
Mace could be one of the people could possibly.
A
take one of
mace.
those. A light hammer could be one as well.
What farmer has a mace?
Okay, that's 1 weapon out of 10.
An ex-Olympian.
Maybe it was.
And also, yeah, for the javelin thing. What the fuck?
Maybe it was granddad's. Who knows?
So
why would his granddad?
Getting back to the actual topic at hand.
Bark runs over and swings
He's a legacy farmer.
this dude here and smacks him in the face.
Yeah, good point.
The goblin yells an insult at his stick as he throws it, and it hits the dude, and it explodes.
Good boy.
He's now
You have a
unarmed.
pitchfork and the two sides.
I wouldn't say. He's got trunks.
Is it a
Fair
Yeah,
call.
too.
Or is it just a broken heart?
Luggage.
So why does it front? Oh wait. Oh, no, pitchfork. There we go.
I will start to
It's
close
like
the
harpoon.
distance
That doesn't work.
between. What, it's only 20 feet?
Yeah.
Harpoon
I'll
would
close
probably
that
be a
distance and
martial
go for a
weapon.
whack.
But it should be a simple
Roll
weapon
for whack.
because it's just like a pitchfork.
Just for sure. use it.
Natural one.
Oh no.
I'm a
Roll
little disturbed by
Roll damage.
Yeah, makes this
by
question.
this thingy. This
Even
is
a
not a
small
weapon.
hammer. How many farmers actually have some?
Smith.
6.
That's
Sorry,
Smith wood.
10.
Yeah, that I could
You
fix.
swing at this guy, and it goes into Bark's shoulder. He goes, "Ah!" looks
Sorry,
at it,
friend.
looks at you, and goes,
The fuck?
pulls the sickle out of his shoulder.
And if it's a simple weapon, I guess.
I'm assuming
like,
that's technically
just
5.
something people use. In
It's
their trade.
half because he's raging. Yeah.
Aww.
What?
Drew,
Dagger,
you're up.
You know, to
From non-magical
Kill
sources
potatoes.
or from all sources?
Okay, yeah, dagger. Dagger in itself is not right.
No, I
I
suppose
mean,
it's a
daggers are
magical weapon.
standardly like this
Um,
fucking.
Right.
It's a magical
me.
slashing
knife.
piercing weapon.
What?
The resistance comes.
Should
Yeah.
just be knife.
You carry on, I'll read this thing in my first.
Drew, you're up.
You know what I'm doing.
Hit the guy in the face with the thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Sorry, dice can. My bad, bro.
It doesn't say from non-magical sources. So all sources.
9! 9!
Is it a fireball? As you witness Luggage swinging this sickle now into Bark's shoulder, you fire a firebolt that goes through the gap in the sickle and hits this dude in the face, who just goes.
And that's Drew's reaction too.
Which probably seems like slice. I hurt friend.
Yeah, but I hurt him.
And I get to sleep. Oh.
How damaged is old Bark from that?
5 damage is nothing.
Oh, 5 damage.
He doesn't look overly injured. He's
just
had a thing stabbed in the shoulder, it's bleeding. This guy runs. Up
Give me
here
the next
more.
turn.
This guy makes a few more feet down here, stands here.
That's our warrior, that's our mage, and that's Drew.
Yep.
Just keeping my mind on who's
Oblivion.
The goblin runs over and picks up
He's
his
watching what's coming down.
There's this dude still running at us. Is he still?
airship.
I'm coming!
So what do we exactly see over there?
You have an entire dead horde of things on one side of the ship, and on the other side of the ship is a bunch of humans running in, sort of.
So some dead, some not dead.
I could just
That's me.
I could just throw my turret off the edge and just make
That's
it
me.
detonate.
That could be pretty cool. Not gonna lie. And shit, why not? You bring up another one, right?
That's true.
12. 40.
If Job can do that, I don't know.
48 again.
It's not as strong as I thought. It's only a 3d6.
See how easy it is to do math? The first number times
Oh,
the
man.
It's only a 3D6.
Forget how to do math.
Sorry, let's take 12 off that. 36. And wild magic! Crap, I cast a fireball. Sent it on myself.
Are you?
I
What are
randomly
you
throw
doing,
into one
Fitz?
pile.
Oh, I think it was a 4.
What is Fitz doing?
He's just rolling dice for the hell of it.
I think the
It
plan
misses.
is to throw and boom.
Okay, so the turret's 14 to hit, which I think it's gonna miss. I'm not gonna throw it off. I'm just gonna
Oh,
fire
you're
it.
just shooting.
14 to hit.
No, it was another one.
Okay, good.
I rolled a 4 and then added on a 2.
Yeah, usually you make your move and roll.
4,
Crack
2,
it.
6. 6
So your turret is.
Oh, it's +5. Yes.
See,
Turret's
you
definitely
fucked
not
it.
gonna hit.
What did you roll?
11. 11 to hit.
Okay, 11 misses. Thank you.
Okay.
These guys have an AC of 12, so
Okay, well, my gunshot
I know the feeling, Sam.
I rolled a 14, so
misses.
it's gonna.
14 will hit. You'll hit one person.
You don't know what these things are.
I have a very low appreciation of my own skills.
That's usually why I'm saying it.
Yeah.
Man, we all know I didn't roll good enough. Come on.
Roll out a bit. I'm not going to do that.
Fuck it.
So did you want to read? Then I realised it was.
4, it's good.
Probably not.
And we'll make it shock damage. So 4 on the shock, and the total is 14.
10 plus 4, yes. 10 normal, 4 shock.
One bandit falls down dead.
Well done.
I say bandit because that's the stat I'm using. But it's not a bandit, it's a dude.
Oh.
By the way, you
His name is Bandit.
His name is Bandit. Bandit is down dead.
Farewell, Bandit.
Bandit Snatch.
Luggage, you're up.
You can see
I
his
would
life
like
story
to
on
take at
Netflix
least
now.
a moment to see if the guy that was running is still looking pretty enthusiastic charging.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
what does
looks
that
like
do?
he's probably closed the gap. He's about maybe 100 feet away, maybe 100.
He's an Olympic farmer.
Can I tell what race it is then?
Roll me a perception.
He's really a huge
15.
18.
It's not your turn.
I want to spot it, that's all.
You both can spot what looks like a dwarf charging forwards, but his armor appears to be made out of the earth around him as he's running forwards like this, screaming.
He's not fired. Cool.
I know who he is.
I turn. It's the one that was running around.
He's on the way running around the edge area.
And he's been caught up by a goblin.
No, the goblin's just behind him picking up his handle. He's actively
I
stopped raging to
will-
find his handle and apologised to his club. He's not making a move this round.
Unless there is objections, I'm going to cast fly on myself.
No one can object if no
No
one
one
knows what you're
cares.
doing.
Yeah.
Go for it.
You just go up and leave.
The reason why I was going to say no objections because I was going to pick someone up on the way, but then I realised that involves more distance backwards. I now have 60-foot movement. I will
So
start
really, it's
chasing
as long
towards
as
him.
it's-
And
Drew doesn't have objections to it.
I hope you just fly. You just go up. You don't even move. You're totally still while doing it.
Where are you going?
So I'm heading towards the guy that's
running,
but also trying to go up because I want to scout out that other
awkward
group that was around.
So you'll basically be 30-30.
Yep, that works.
That's exactly that.
So you're like here, but in the air.
And he's
Okay.
making the swooshing noise.
Drew, you're up as you watch luggage fly up.
Exactly that.
Just before he took off, he made the statement of flight mode engaged.
You fucking what? And that is Drew's response.
Just
You
less
fucking
slow and
what?
try and grab on.
And I'm still standing there like this.
That's it.
Prepared
It's like
to
a bad animation. You just
Yeah.
move.
5 frames a second.
You basically just move up to attack
T-pose
whatever's
as
next
well.
to be attacked.
It's
Or
a
help
that
wherever
dude.
we need to help.
That dude who's about 120 away. So if you run 30 feet in,
Yep.
6, 7, 8,
Yeah, that would be about right.
he'll be 110 feet away from you.
Who's this?
Me.
Oh, oh. 14. 20?
Yep.
I should think so. Fuck. Be damn elusive otherwise.
If these guys have had any concentration skills still up, I would be impressed.
Aw, I only did 3 damage. Super painful.
He gets hit and goes. "Ugh." He looks like it took quite a lot out of him as he keeps attempting to run.
Yeah, plot twist, we weren't meant to be attacking him. That's the reason he's running. No, I'm on
Is
your
it-
side!
Here's your guys.
You recognized me from the meeting earlier?
I was in the back.
Yeah, that 3 damage really fucked him up. Oh,
18,
yeah, you hit the
16.
shit out of everything.
Both it. Just believe me.
Are you just shooting
9
people?
times
Yeah, so
4.
I rolled an 18 and a
36.
16, so...
Did
Okay,
you
roll
do math
damage.
on that one? I can. I don't like 9s, but I'll
Start
do
with
it.
the gun, we'll go with shock again.
40 minus 4.
5 for shock,
That's how I remember that one.
What?
My brain starts to do 9 times and then goes, wait, nope.
16 is the total.
Cool.
And then the ballista will be. That's a different type of damage.
Just imagine if you had the ability to
roll.
toss that ball out.
I mean, if we
11.
prepared, like, we
Cool.
remove some of the banister and push the carpet over the
You and your turret go fire at 2 guys who just basically fall down.
Yeah, no, like, we have
You hit them.
we bring it to the edge, we pile it up, and then we push it off.
One is.
You mean empty it out
Yeah.
beforehand.
Oh, we did it, 36.
Okay. You.
Yeah.
Well, it's 4 people.
Yeah.
That's 36
Still
damage.
low.
You can do 36 damage solo.
Yeah. Mine took a lot of planning and a lot of money.
Luggage, you're up.
What the fuck you on about? Most damage I
I
can do
can
with my
show
cantrips.
you the world.
With my
120 feet
2d10.
with dash while flying.
Most I can do is 20 damage.
You just move.
Hyperdrive.
If it was the opening, I don't even know
Whoosh.
if I changed completely.
You're above.
But
Yeah.
I could have 2
Um,
shots.
Don't you still have 2
People
shots?
around the corner.
You can't see around the
I
corner.
don't know.
There's
I
a
just
massive
stopped doing
wall.
it. I probably should have
Yeah,
kept
just
doing
making. You said he was starting to come.
If
around.
he's
If we're
running in
going
this
with- if we're
direction,
going with the new
but
one,
he's basically up here,
then it's supposed
That's a
to be
decent chunk of room to get around
battlesmith.
there.
The battlesmith gets 2 hits now.
As I'm flying, check that on an eye on that. I use my action.
And so
I'm done.
what happened is
Eldritch
you're
Cannon.
just up in the air.
Yeah, right.
Drew, you're up.
I mean, I could use
You know
a
what I'm
bonus to
doing.
stop.
You know what's
Full on,
up,
but I don't
man.
do that.
But I missed terribly.
no, I don't get
Oh.
it out.
I rolled like a 1.
Roll me damage.
Baby,
We're going off
2d10.
this.
Because you rolled a crit fail. So you hit something else.
Right. Sorry, guys.
That's right.
Times 1.
Luggage, odd or even.
Even.
Yeah, now I do a bunch of damage. 8.
A firebolt hits you in the back.
Aren't you lucky I'm resistant to fire?
4 damage.
Wait, what?
It was either luggage or the goblin.
Yeah, you're an artillerist. You
That's
get
the-
Eldritch Cannon.
That's the
That's
lowest
just my
one.
turrets. Yeah.
The wizard guy here turns,
Turret is an eldritch cannon.
runs
Oh, right. Flamethrower.
30 feet
Force
down
Buster,
and
Protector.
fires at the dude running.
Which I already
And
had.
he's hit the back, and the guy goes, "No!" and just falls to the ground.
So what's happened
The bad
is
guy's on the
I've
ground.
become
Bad guy's
weaker, but I've become a bit stronger.
guy's
later
dead.
on.
Bad guy falls down dead. Bad guy
We
goes
killed all
bye-bye.
the bad guys.
No, you killed all the bad guys.
I didn't kill him.
I didn't.
The mage did, I think.
I
you
smacked
said.
you in the back of the head.
A random mage.
So what
Fire.
happened is I've become weaker now, but stronger later.
Well, I'm confused about just why you're
So,
doing electrical damage.
you guys witness the
Why not?
screaming of a dwarf
My thunder cannon
running.
that I got at the
Basically, and
Oh,
from
right,
this
he's
area
just letting
here,
you keep that,
he
yeah.
makes it about 30 feet away from like visual earshot from you guys.
start.
And the last thing you hear him screaming before I end the round is, "Where is Johnny?"
Where's Johnny?
It's more frantic and worried.
Where's
but it's
Johnny?
And
Still don't feel like he's captured that one.
Can I point at the... Is the ship in
and that's the last thing you guys technically witness, other than a bunch of guards cheering you on.
I know,
from
we're
the wall.
amazing, but that's not the point. We still got shit to do.
And that's where we end it for today.
That was literally what you were saying.
I can just imagine we're gonna see like kids going to the infirmary with like pieces of metal in their feet.
For weeks on end.
I thought you were gonna go with like missing limbs.
Now we need him to do the wild magic to become a magnet. Just make him walk around the You fetch all your weaponry and go and sell it again.
Would they rust?
Not these ones.
Not the
Oh,
arrows,
no.
but the
Caltrops.
Caltrops?
Rust.
Probably wouldn't be
A
too
little
much of
bit
an
of
issue.
blood maybe, but it depends how long it takes for him to get them out, pick them back up again.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
there is an
and
entire
where they are.
There's also an entire group of scavengers who tend to run around and pick
The
these
ones
things up as
over
well.
here might, because they're near water.
I'm going to kill them myself.
I just imagine that Aaron can
They're not the only Tamaxians in the city.
Oh,
but
fuck.
They are probably the most annoying.
I'm going to make some more grenades, and next time I ask for money, it's just going to be like, oh, here you go, sell this. And just lob a grenade at them.
I don't think you could actively attack something you've been charmed by.
Yes.
Is it attacking though? I'm just...
Charmed means
if I
you
catch...
have... if I am correct, it should be right there. Or somewhere. It means you have advantage on charisma checks against them. It doesn't mean that they're not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
So if you go, could you give me some money? Is that a persuasion? Is that a charisma check? Yes, cool, you get advantage on it. Other than that, I'd still shoot you. I can punch my friend in the face.
True.
If be a dickhead, I'll punch him.
If they roll and they catch it, if they do a good roll and they catch it, then...
Like, he's pretty charming.
It's an impact
like
on
to
it,
punch him.
Well, if they catch, like, the top part of it, then...
They catch it before it explodes, yes.
Till
next week.
Bye,
And
everyone.
the battle continues.
The only way they can survive is if they swear fealty to me. I need to become the pussy lord.
This is my 20 D2s.
What?
Can I click commander too?
Small.